Ah. Ba-dum. Hello, everyone. It's so silly. The opening video that plays all the time it's got a good sense of humor, lightweight, laughing. It's something meant to be laughed at and enjoyed. However, I just got word that even though I do the big like 10-minute countdown thing where I try to wrap my shit up before the stream gets started, I have a phone call I gotta make right now. Rome. Let me just pause the techno music, put the webcam feed off. You guys can enjoy this movie while I fucking call my mom and the people taking care of her to figure out what kind of emergency we're dealing with this weekend, because we are dealing with an emergency that's going to delay the next Metal Gear Monday. And I've been playing phone tag all day today, and it looks like I was trying to get it wrapped up before the stream, but that's not going to happen. I'll be right back. Five minutes, hopefully less. It's important.
The Senate was taken from the many and given to the few. Those who wore the golden wreath grew sick with every kind of wickedness. They were filled with greed, deceit, and malice. They condemned and enslaved. They betrayed their friends and murdered those they loved. They did all this and called it just. And I saw in his hand a book sealed with 7 seals, the first of which was broken. And behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and he went forth to conquer. The air was filled with smoke and blood.
Okay, okay. I just think I finished my latest round of telephone relay messaging between the family members and all the complicated grudges they have between themselves that I have to navigate through in order to get the mom the attention that she needs. And Monday, I am having to reschedule Metal Gear Monday next Monday. It's gonna be probably a Metal Gear Tuesday. But there might be a chance we might have a Metal Gear morning Monday or a Metal Gear Monday afternoon instead of a Metal Gear Monday. So, my phone's blowing up. I'll be right back. Okay. 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 I think I can concentrate. Oh. I don't know if I can concentrate. It's not that bad. It's just that I gotta make a 4-hour drive and fight some potentially corrupt doctors, and I might be the only one who can. And unlike all the other people in the family who have kids and families of their own, I can rearrange my schedule easier than they can. Hannibal, Montana. What's going on? Why is everyone talking about no clip Battlefield 3 divisive? Is this a new video that just came out 5 hours ago? Yes, it is.
So a few months back I started noticing posts all over social media.
Really? Because I didn't. I'm out of that loop. It drove me crazy. I'm not noticing posts on social media about old games that are getting reappraised by the teenagers who might have played it at the time and liked it better than the cynical old adults who liked it at the time. It sounds like something you should prioritize. Yeah, but like, the way it works is that you'll get a 5 to 10 minute stretch of something you got to take care of right away, in between hours of there being nothing you can really do. Kind of days almost. She's got people closer to her who can help, but don't really want to. She's got professionals who are legally obligated to help, but can't legally obligated not to do it during some off hours and on weekends and stuff. The issue is that there's an appointment at a very inconvenient time that no one else can really drive her to, except the guy who lives 500 miles away. We're getting it taken care of. It's going to be a little distracting for me tonight if my phone blows up again. I think I got all the logistics and questions answered and squared away. Okay. And I would really like to relax again, which almost feels greedy for me to say, because I, did at least have a couple more peaceful days than usual over the past 1 week span. And it was nice. It was really nice. I started a game of Civ 6 where I was playing a marathon-like game, a marathon-length game on a huge scale map with the maximum amount of civilizations and city-states both for maximal complexity and memorable narrative national story memories. And it's nice. It was so wonderful getting addicted to Civ for a 4 to 6 hour stretch over the past 2 days and making time for that. I'm also showing one of my good old friends, one of my non-gamer friends, Civ 6. It's going to be their first Civ game. And the fun of like showing someone something that you think is neat and coaching them through all the weirdness and experiencing their reactions as they get to enjoy that it's neat is wonderful too. And I'm having some more nice normal moments of brain space in my bunny hop head. Unfortunately, this like 30-45 minute stretch right now around 7:30, 45 going on 8:15 had some unexpected interruptions pop up as soon as the stream began. Let me turn my cell phone onto Do Not Disturb, because all the most time-sensitive stuff has been squared away and arranged for. And I should be able to relax now. But yeah, Hannibal Montana mentioned a few messages ago. I'm watching Danny O'Dwyer's retrospective on Battlefield 3 single player. Time for a Super Bunny Hop reappraisal. Is it really? I'm not gonna have fun playing that game again. It's gonna be associated with memories of me doing some grown-ass man whines about video games on YouTube shtick. I don't exactly think I'm gonna find interesting insights in there without the same kind of insider connections that a Danny O'Dwyer type would have. Oh yeah? Hear me out, George. What are you gonna hit me with, GK? We do a Battlefield 3 multiplayer night instead. Battlefield 4 is better. And it's pretty much almost the same game, just better. But sure, yes. Battlefield 3 multiplayer. What's your ringtone? It's Snakies. My ringtone is default. I quit giving a damn about my cell phone ringtones maybe 10 or 11 years ago. There have been more years of my life where I gave a damn about my ringtone than there have been years of my life where I didn't. We could do a Battlefield 4 MP. Servers are still very much... Yeah, I was just playing it maybe 6 months ago or so. I don't remember why. Oh, I do remember why, because my real gaming computer exploded, so I had to play old games, and when Hunt Showdown got updated past the system requirements that my work PC could handle, I played a couple nights of Battlefield 4 instead. And yeah, it's still fun. It feels weirdly dated, but I think that like under a microscope of really getting nitty-gritty of comparing it to modern day games, I would not feel that anymore. I think it's more that I was just playing it coming off a Hunt Showdown, and Hunt Showdown has I think surpassed a lot of multiplayer first-person shooter Battlefield style game design on a more design level than an aesthetic or technological one. Certainly not technological. That game's still unpolished as hell, but I'm ready to tolerate a few minor glitches for superior game design. But yes, I've been playing Civ 6 and really enjoying it. I also completed the Total War Attila tutorial, and in my own time, I reloaded a save game and was able to avoid some of the really annoying glitches that gave me hours of lost progress live on stream, and completed in my own time. And I enjoyed it. I had fun. When everything's working as intended, I was having fun. And one of the things that might have made things take so long is doing this thinking out loud narratizing thing. Packs minutes onto the hours of I need to stop checking my phone. Hours of the playthrough time. So, we're ready to begin a real campaign. A grand campaign. What is this last Roman stuff? I think this is DLC. Purchase campaign? Yeah, screw that. Age of Charlemagne is DLC too. What's the spell here? Roman expedition in 533 AD. Gonna be depicting the period of Justinian the First. The Ostrogoths now rule Italy. Belisarius, right. Oh! Oh! Do you guys want to hear some really cool music about Belisarius that might actually be better than the Total War Rome soundtrack? Just the name Belisarius is getting me want to bring up this 7-minute ditty from Faria Faraji. Let's do a window capture and capture the PNP and use this as our soundtrack for a short little while. And maybe set it to loop too. Okay. They're a little loud and distracting. Oop. Okay. Oh, I should also probably post a link to this music. It's great. It's fantastic. I spent like my good chunks of my 2024 listening to this guy's stuff while reading Homer and reading Beowulf and other associated historical war epics, and it was a great way to spend a shitty year. Oh, Romans or barbarians? What are we doing? White Huns, we're not gonna do Sassanids, Fabians, Vandals, Alans. When it comes to barbarians, the Alans come recommended, and I think the Visigoths also come recommended. I think the idea is that you kind of sort of see the modern borders for the Dark Age kingdoms that would later turn into the modern nations of Western Europe become Christianized and turn from nomadic hordes into settlers that mix with the existing population. But what do they have here under barbarian kingdoms? Saxons and Franks. Right, Franks. Franks at least is the word that the real-life Eastern Roman Empire Byzantines would use to refer to the collective of what was going on in Western Europe and how the barbarians were gradually becoming civilized from their perspective, from the Byzantine Roman perspective. It really is like de facto Roman. It does frustrate me a little bit that historians have come to give people the nomenclature of the Byzantine Empire. It did make me for a while as a kid, even playing Total War games, Total War Medieval 2, thinking that it was like a different thing, and it's not. There is an unbroken continuity of governance that goes from like 700 BC or something to 1420s or 30s AD amongst the Eastern Roman Empire that this game I am hoping does a fun job of depicting. One thing that I want to say is a little disappointing is that we're starting after the Christianization period, 395 AD. If this took place maybe 50 or 40 years before that date, there would be some interesting pros and cons between picking paganism over Christianity, which I think you do when you're playing as the barbarians. So, I mean, Saxons and Franks both sound very, very interesting. I'm guessing that the blob you start with is tiny and that you're nomadic, and that the blob on the map you end up with would look a little bit more like either France, Spain, or Germany, one of those. And even then, like Germany is a very, very nebulous concept right here. But when it comes to getting the borders drawn for what France would look like, I think it should be happening by around about the times that's depicted. But one thing that would be pretty fun, if not really frustrating though, might be Western Roman Empire. Let me see what chat recommends. All of these factions sound really interesting. Might get a bit more out of the Eastern Romans. Yeah, I was most looking forward to Eastern Roman, but the fans of this game have generally recommended one of the barbarians. Dun, 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 dun. The one with the coolest hats, I almost want to say, would be Eastern Roman. Like, the Western Roman Empire looks like a proto-medieval knight sort of outfit, where it looks like this mix between a broom helmet and whatever you would associate a medieval knight with. Eastern Roman Empire, though, this guy looks ancient. This guy looks looks like he's trying to keep something that's been going on for 1,000 years alive, with the laurel wreath, the purple cape, the scale mail. This guy's wearing a broomed helmet with plate and a sword. I think the sword is a little less emphasized here, as is the banner. Oh, I wish they had a globe in one of their hands and a scepter in the other. That would be neat. But yeah, I don't know how interesting Western Rome is going to be. Eastern Rome, I imagine, would be really interesting because, I mean, according to the real-life history, the Western Roman Empire will fail this campaign, but the Eastern Roman Empire will survive by the skin of its teeth, almost. There'll be a very, very stressful... What's the guy in this case? It might be Justinian. Oh yeah, that's right, the DLC campaign is Justinian. We're hearing modern music that's designed to sound like historical music about Justinian, the last Roman. Belisarius. Why was I thinking Justinian? In any case, we gotta pick one, and it sounds like the voting going on in the chat is just as divisive as my own monologuing has been. Where's the chat? There. Okay. The ones with the coolest hats. That would be Byzantine, Eastern Roman. You might get a bit more about Eastern Roman based on your knowledge of history. One thing I really want to play, though, is a simulation of the Christianization of Rome, which is, yeah, just a couple decades before this stuff. And when the Roman Empire was falling, there was a very, very valid observation that it seemed to start about a generation or generation and a half after Christianity got adapted, and a lot of people were blaming the change in religious beliefs for the change in imperial stability. Okay, so Hannibal, Montana had fun with the Saxons, allying with the Britons and tearing apart the Western Roman Empire piece by piece. Saxons and Franks start as settled. I think the idea is, though, that at some point you get pressured into changing. West is hard mode. The swag of that purple dude is hard to resist. The Byzantine soundtrack sounds like something the characters from What We Do in the Shadows jam out to. Ready to take over the world. Oh, Usuriz, you don't know. I'm sorry to report, Usuriz, that this is the one Total War game that's not actually about taking over the world. This is the Total War game about trying to survive the collapse of the Roman Empire and making sure that whatever blob you have left at the end of it is more stable than whatever the rest of the world's going to be dealing with while it's going down, which is a very, very, very exciting and interesting and George-friendly premise for a strategy game. I have been told that this is the closest the Total War games will feel to feeling like a horror game, and the tutorial did give off those vibes. The tutorial was a highly difficult trial by fire. Belisarius was the general of the Emperor Justinian. Okay, if you want a very specific niching experience in video games, leave it to mods. That's another thing I'm very excited for. Maybe there will be a mod that will depict the Christianization of the Roman Empire. That'll start the campaign 40 or 50 years before here. A very easy and boring start as the Sassanids. I don't want that. I think we're gonna go with Eastern Rome. There it is. Yes, I linked it. GK, you might need to... I trust you with mod privileges, GK. Mod warn, mod GK. Okay, try that again. It's for Rome too, though. Oh no. There are mods that are set in Constantine's time. Okay, Constantine, Rise of Christianity, Part 2. Oh no, now I'd have to play Constantine, Rise of Christianity, Part 1 to understand what's going on. I'm trying to get this. So we'd also be going back to Rome 2. And there is a very, very good mod for Rome 2 that I've never actually played all the way to the completion of a campaign because it's like a 40 to 60 hour obligation. But it's very, very fun and good and makes the game so much better. It's Divide et Impera, and I would have to go through a kind of uncomfortable setup process, but Divide et Impera for Rome 2 was one of my favorite experiences ever, and I'd rather go back to that one. It might have a late Roman Empire portion of the campaign that might depict some mechanics of getting strategic about choosing Christianity over classic Homeric Olympian Hellenic paganism. But yeah, listening to the history lessons and the history podcasts and those Faria Faraji pop history orchestra music tracks while playing a turn-based strategy game depicting the period is one of the most exciting, fun, edutainment experiences that an intellectually curious mind can pursue across the entire computer gaming medium. If you get a good reading list or a good listening list of actual academic material set up while playing through one of these games, your brain will grow 3 sizes by the end of the campaign, and it's one of the most effective pop history educational experiences ever. I want to say that I am feeling torn between Franks and Eastern Rome. The Saxons start a little west. What is really the difference between the two? The Saxons, their difficulty's a little easier. Franks are more difficult. Religion, Germanic paganism for both of them. Boom, 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 boom. They might set you up to try and conquer Britannia, which I think does... Yeah, that does ring true to the history. Saxons are a thorn in Rome's size. One of the things that was so interesting about the tutorial making you play as the Visigoths is that it depicts the dilemma of being an unreliable ally to Rome, who is forced to get in their face out of a migratory dilemma. There's Huns invading to the east, and Romans who'd rather not have you settle their lands to the west. But when an internal rebellion and infighting props up within the Roman Empire, it presents you an opportunity at the end of the tutorial to claim what are de facto Roman lands under a legitimate casus belli, which effectively has you backstabbing them for a shitty solution that no one on either course likes. And that does ring true to the history. It was a wonderful way of depicting some of the complexity of arguing about whatever is your particular pet peeve cause about the fall of the Roman Empire. Right, okay, one of the things that's so fun about the historical period of the fall of the Roman Empire is that whatever your current modern day political grievances are, or even like ethical moral grievances are, you'll probably find a way to argue about the Roman Empire falling for the same stuff that pisses you off about whatever's going on today. There was global climate change going on. There was a period of global cooling instead of global warming, but massive crops were failing on a planetary scale that was causing famines. The farmers were confused. They thought it was a curse from the gods. The policies had been adjusted to a place where they were used to prosperity for such a long time that they really did not want to confront the changes that would need to happen to tighten everyone's belt for the lack of food that would be resulting from the climate changing, regardless of how hard everyone was trying to farm their farms. There was climate change. There was an immigration crisis, which is depicted in the tutorial too. Like, the Roman Empire was not able to sustain a massive influx of migrants who really were kind of getting a shit deal from the Roman Empire itself, and then the Huns invading to the east, and all the associated infighting and instability that resulted from ineffectual Roman rule in some of the most remote regions of Gaul, that were also forcing people en masse to try and migrate into Roman imperial lands. And try to assimilate into a intolerant social class that had systems for assimilation but never really committed to it emotionally or ethically. Xenophobia and racism against the Germans is something that you could argue made the Roman Empire fell. But then again, a huge influx of Germanic immigrants into the Roman Empire is also something one could argue caused the Roman Empire to fall. If you want to blame the Roman Empire falling on a generation of fragile soy boys who hadn't known hardship for so many centuries that they didn't know how to manage the empire during a time of real crisis, you can make your effort there. And make your argument there. But then again, if you also want to argue that generations of wealth and stability getting hoarded into the upper classes cultivated a lax attitude of how to, of being too conservative to change when a crisis was requiring change, you can make your argument for that too. Moral of the story is whatever's pissing you off nowadays was also happening during the fall of Rome, and wherever you fall on the political spectrum, you can make a probably weak argument about the same history repeating with the collapse of modern Western Roman-descended imperialist nation-states. I'm going on this huge rant. Fun, billionaires, climate change is a mechanic in this game. You can blame billionaires, you can blame climate change, you can blame conservatives, you can blame liberals, you can blame decadence, and you can blame slavish devotion to tradition, both. A huge problem is also the lack of records. Late Roman historiography is distinctly medieval, not least of which is because the sources are often only conserved from medieval times and are therefore super spotty. You can blame the Christians. If you don't like pagans, you can blame the pagans. If you don't like Christians, you can blame the Christians. If you want to blame the pagans, you can read Augustus of Hippo. If you want to blame the pagans, you can read Juvenal. Yeah, like it was very complicated, and the kind of crisis that cannot be summarized succinctly in a pop history documentary. You'd have to read a big book about it to get a realistic picture of it, and no one's really going to want to do that. Instead, what they're going to want to do is look at the Rorschach blob of a complicated worldwide historical political crisis and reflect their own existing biases onto it. One of the reasons why it's so fascinating and I'm so eager to get into it, we're gonna do Eastern Rome, because I just talked us through, if we're doing Western Rome, I have a feel that the difficulty is gonna be too high. I'm not gonna know what we're doing. Instead of playing Legendary mode, we're gonna play Very Hard mode. And I actually wonder if the choice might come up at some point to throw the Christianity away and go back. Because that was a debate going on at the time. The adoption of Christianity started by rites of secret cults meeting in basements to practice an outlawed religion, until it became popular enough that the empires themselves decided to outlaw paganism and force, by the sword, Christianity as the state religion. And then when things were starting to fall apart, it was a very popular movement arose that was trying to just go back. Woo! Anyways, let's get in the mood here. I'm starting to laugh and talk and get back in the mood, and I love alt-tabbing back out to the Twitch chat. This is, Research, whatever. I don't care. I don't care how it's properly pronounced. You know the kinds of blob I was talking about, the projection blobs, where you see a blob of ink and see your mom dying on the hospital bed and the rest of the family not caring that much, something like that. Do they get mad because they couldn't buy their Nintendo Switch 2s? Late Roman historiography is distinctly medieval. So I'm wondering about that, Kalham. Because I'm learning Latin right now, so I might be becoming a Ronabusi. That's going to be really fun. But this thing about medieval historical record keeping strikes me as a little weird, because the Eastern Roman Empire is famous for keeping records of the literature alive, and then when they get taken over by Muslims 600 years after this stuff, those records end up spreading back into Western Europe after being destroyed. I think that when it comes to associating medievalism with record destructions, amongst internet atheists, the Christians kind of get a bad rap, but Christian traditions of literally worshiping written word over spoken Homeric performances did lend the monasteries into a tradition and a hobby of making copies of their favorite pagan literature. Granted, throwing a good deal of it out, but as example, Homer never got thrown out. The Library of Alexandria was not burnt by a Christian group. I think it was burnt by infighting amongst pagans and such. Oddly specific, right? That's the whole idea. And I think that as far as the record keeping goes in Eastern Rome versus Western Rome, there is significantly more coherency and continuity. I got the chat scrolling on my phone. I won't need to alt-tab out of the game and pause the audio, but isn't there an option somewhere in there to fix that from happening? Oh, I'm sorry, that's not the options, that's the DLC menu. Sound, show subtitles. Oh, maybe it's under graphics, custom. Nope. Bum 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 bum. Game settings. Nope. Am I in a window or a full screen mode? Where's the resolution option? We're in a window. I want a borderless window. You know what? I have the chat by my side. You have the game set to borderless, might help with alt tabbing. I have the chat in a mobile phone off to my side because I am gonna love talking about the history while going through this. I do not want to alt tab back and forth and ruin the music and the vibes. Christian monks knew Homer was based on what? Who knows? I want to watch Name of the Rose. I want to read Name of the Rose. Overblown. Ancient historical practices were always bad. The Byzantines had their own problems, though. History was a propaganda game like always, and things kept getting thrown out and rewritten with change and done. So I think the way that the Homeric preservation goes is that in ancient Greece, a standardized version of the Iliad and the Odyssey were like kind of sort of officially commissioned by one of the tyrants of a Greek city-state. I don't think I'm going to remember the guy's name, but I do think I remember him being one of the guys who supposedly, arguably, invented Athenian democracy, overthrowed the tyrannies, the tyrannos, the Greek word that the etymology of the word tyrant comes from. And we don't actually have surviving records of what he standardized, so much as we have a copy of a surviving record that was at some point in antiquity even dug up by an Egyptian mummy in Alexandria from the Library of Alexandria that Christian monks were then copying. I don't want to say rewriting because I don't actually think that the scholars think that the version of the Iliad and the Odyssey that we have today is fundamentally that different from what was considered the standard version in 300 BC. But that the surviving copy of what was back there from 300 BC is not, certainly not. I think the surviving copy that the translators use as their master copy is from 1300 AD, or maybe 1000 AD. I think there's fragments from 1000 AD and a more complete manuscript from 1300 AD, but the more complete manuscript is going to look like a Christian medieval manuscript with the Pentiment stuff going on in the margins. It was Christian monks copying Homer and keeping Homer alive. I hope Creative Assembly is doing alright. I don't think they are. Are you talking about Harmodius and the other guy? I might be. Harmodius isn't ringing a bell. I think the Greek ruler who commissioned some kind of effort to standardize the Homeric epics had a cooler name than Harmodius. I want to say, like, I think it might have began with a prefix that sounds like Chrono something or other, or Zeno something or other, or Polino something or other. It sounded a little more stately and intimidating than, was it Harmonious? Harmodius. Do you watch Cambrian Chronicles, Medieval Welsh History? I don't know. I don't know what that is. I also need to actually stop yapping about history lessons from over a year ago that I don't remember that well, and eat a bite of salad and play as the Eastern Roman Empire. Xenophobias. Another thing going on is that when you get into these history lessons, you learn that when it comes to lightweight armchair pop history buffs who love the Greco-Roman period, or more like the Greco-Roman setting, Greece is way cooler than Rome. And by playing as the Eastern Roman Empire instead of the Western Roman Empire, we are de facto playing as a Greek empire more than a de facto Roman empire. We're going to be operating out of Istanbul, not Constantinople. We're going to be operating out of Constantinople. Egypt is going to be very important. And I think as far as like relations go, relations between Egypt and Greek should be... Oh yeah, another thing is that like we're seeing a lot of Turkey on this map. And for this period it is de facto functionally Greek. Homer's from here. Homer is from the east, not the west. I'm getting pumped. This is getting me excited. Game time. The division of the Roman Empire has unshackled the East, allowing it to take control of the Roman world. The new administrative center at Constantinople has allowed the Eastern Romans to replace the antiquated systems throttling the economy and enfeebling the Rome's emperors. As a result, new trade networks and fiscal reforms fill its coffers, all run by a centralized bureaucracy and a powerful state church. The East has safely weathered the storm of barbarian migration, often by diverting them into the West. However, young Emperor Arcadius will have to negotiate barbarian threats, court intrigues, and the ever-present Sassanid menace to ensure that the last light of the Roman Empire continues to burn. Okay, never mind. We're going to alt-tab out and read about this guy I never heard of. Emperor Arcadius? Really? Oh, yeah. Nope. This is a real guy. Let me get the window on oop. Boo, 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 boo. Arcadius was Roman Empire from 383 to his death in 4. Oh, that's gonna happen. All right, good luck, guy. We got 18 years. We got 18 years to play. What are the victory conditions? Should I play on hard because I'm familiar with Total War? I think I should. Ha! Alright, so this guy has an untimely death. Oh. Silchio's plan. He was how did he die? Socrates Scholasticus the 7th, 23 of the Chrononicon Pascale. 7th century Christian Chronicle. His name's game. Does it say how he died? Because it sounds like he wasn't that old. Like it would have been a battle or something, or unexpected. 31. He was 31 years old, right? So did he die from disease or from warfare? Oh, Theodosius. I think Theodosius is probably a bigger deal. Pascal Chronicle. Okay, Pascal Chronicle, page 408. Can I see the full text? There's usually databases. Full text. Yeah! Oh, we got a translation too. We don't have to do Latin. Okay, so Arcadius. In the time of the consuls, Arcadius was proclaimed Augustus in Constantinople at the tribunal. Arcadius Augustus. Mentioned 52 times. Index. I'm guessing these mentions of statues and monuments are posthumous, post-death. Speaking of throwing up the Latin, Pelagius's body was thrown in the. Okay, maybe here it is. We heard of this. Emperor Zeno detained the patrician Pelagius. God, they make the histories. These propaganda histories make it sound so exciting. The Emperor Zeno detained the patrician Pelagius, the former silentiary who had completed the term and raped the ancient patrician, a wise man. Confiscated his property in order to undergo. Praetorian Perfect Arcadius. Wait, is this the same Arcadius as the Emperor? Okay, wait. He castigated the Emperor Zeno on account of the patrician Pelagius because he had been murdered, and it came to the ears of Zeno the Emperor, and he ordered that Arcadius himself be slain as he entered the palace. The Praetorian Prefect Arcadius learnt of that, and that he was summoned by the Emperor. When he was passing by the great church, he made out that he wished to pay, and dismounting from his carriage, he entered the great church of Constantinople, remained inside there, and was delivered from a harsh death. So there was an assassination plot against him, but the assassins didn't want to kill him in a church? Is that what's happening? Oh no, there was a bread riot. Still don't know if I'm reading the story of his death correctly. Arcadius Augustus died in the palace of Constantinople in the month of Artemius, the calends of May 1st, and he was laid to rest. The month of Artemius, what that means. And in the same year there was great rain with thunder and lightning and earthquake. I'm wondering what this business is with some months being given alien names, and then it sounds like the actual original author in Roman times would also give the same month of the modern Gregorian calendar. Calling the emperors Augustus is so weird. It's like if we call presidents Lincolns. You get used to it. He died on May 1st. Ah. I wonder if I should just settle on assassination plot. I wasn't really reading that Arcadius Emperor. Reading that deep enough, live on stream. Frail, he was dominated by his ministers. His empire was prey to the Goths. Eudoxia abetted the persecution. Maybe there's actually no real clear details about how he died because the historian himself is the only record we got, and it sounds like he kind of left the story hanging, saying that he avoided an assassination. But okay, wait, historycooperative.org might have us. His demise at the relatively young age of 31 unexpectedly. Arcadius had his internet cut and left. The circumstances surrounding his death are not entirely clear. No, stop. but it is believed that his health had been in decline. Arcadius may have suffered from an illness that weakened him over time. His death was a matter of great concern for the Empire as it created a power vacuum in him. Right, this is like, we have the original text here from a historian who was chronicling this during, maybe not during the years it was happening, but close enough to have it's going to sound hypocritical to say this, but a relatively reliable suit of witness testimony and documents lying around, and he still is not getting into the details of it. It sounded like the last we heard of him was that he tried to avoid an assassination plot by hiding in a church. And then later on, the historian says that he just died and got succeeded by so and so forth. Someone who was more important as well, Theodosius. So we're going to be playing as a fairly ineffectual emperor who is famous for letting his advisors do more important things than whatever he could do himself, and is also famous for having a mysterious, unclear death. But the one thing that is for sure about it is that it happened unexpectedly at the age of 31, and that his unexpected death was a big pain in the ass for the already shitty situation going on. The young Emperor Arcadius will have to negotiate barbarian threats, court intrigues, and the ever-present Sassanid menace to ensure that the last light of the Roman Empire continues to burn. Survive. Control 60 settlements. Jeez, that's a lot. Thrace, Egypt, and Syria. Okay. So they want us to hold on to, Thrace, I think, is north of Constantinople. I might have to expand into some pretty dangerous territory for that one. Egypt and Syria, I think, are going to be relatively calm from the Huns, barbarians. They're going to be attacked by the Sassanids, I'm guessing. It says produce the following amount of wealth, not hoard the wealth or have the wealth in your treasury. We need 60 units total. That sounds very easy. Produce $30,000 sounds relatively easy. Researching 10 technologies sounds easy. But minor victory, military victory. What do these mean? 75. It's the number of settlements they want me to control that's making me kind of nervous. And also, why would I not pick the easiest one of these? George, you left the paper up. I did? I did! Ah! Okay, there we go. Sorry. I need a beer. I need a beer. I should come right back. By the time I get back, maybe someone can explain what's the difference between these victory conditions and why I shouldn't just go for minor victory over all the others, because having to control this much land in a political situation where everyone is unstable sounds very rough. Survive until spring. Okay, survive longer, control more territory. In more sensitive places, Armenia might be rough. All right. You can backseat while I get a beer. I'll be right back. phone. Alright. You need to maximize food, sanitation, and order. Everything else is a far distant second. If you don't focus on these things, you have rebellions everywhere. Also, vassals will always betray you, and you want to eliminate every enemy faction that declares war. Right, prioritize domestic over international concerns. That's, reminds me a lot of Divide et Impera. I loved how in Divide et Impera they simulated the unrest caused by Caesar crossing the Rubicon. When your armies are on certain sides of the borders, public order goes up or down dramatically, depending on where the general's feet are planted on the ground, and it was very fun playing around with that. I don't know how fun it was learning that, but very fun once you do learn it. But what's the difference in victories? Minor victory is a short-term victory. The next tiers are what you get after a minor victory. Wow. Jeez. That's intimidating. That is really intimidating. The music is not making it any less intimidating. Alright. Alright, let's go. Let's do this. I'm pumped. Oh, I didn't press the options button. No, Alt F4, Alt F4. Control Alt Delete. We didn't look at the options. We gotta close it down. Shut it. Forget it. I don't want to see a single frame of the intro cutscene. It'll spoil. It'll spoil. Alright, let's relaunch. Probably not even that different from the opening cutscene that the game launches with, but I didn't see every last option before beginning the campaign. This is important. Hit the lever, hit the emergency brakes.
Sega.
The campaign AI is very aggressive and prioritizes the player. It will never stop coming after you. You need to eliminate enemies. Gosh, I hope that I really have the time to dig into that, and also the patience to climb the learning curve well. Show AI player moves, autosave to cloud, battle realism mode. Sounds fun, but I should probably learn the system before that. Or contextual tooltips. You'll also be unable to issue orders. The camera being restricted to within 200 meters of any unit, and long distance invisibility sound like a lot of fun. What is this time limit? This was not available in the tutorial. Because one of the ways you could easily exploit the systems in this game was playing for time dominance instead of military dominance or economic dominance. You could just play the clock and survive a lot of battles you shouldn't. Oh no, look at that. The
The air
Chi-Ro.
was filled with smoke and blood. The Roman Empire was divided. From the shores of the Danube to the sands of Egypt and Arabia, the Eastern Empire sprawled. The West ripped itself to pieces, abandoning Rome, while the righteous looked east.
They kept the name though.
The sun rose on Constantinople, God's new city, where the spirit of Rome prospered.
This voice actor's having
People were
fun.
rich and powerful, paying neighboring kings to do their will.
This is the advisor talking. The druid monk guy. Oh wait, so is it implying that we have the Huns on our payroll?
And behold, a red horse, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. Romans of the Eastern Empire, those architects of a new age and forgers of a new empire to light the world.
I'm guessing the old guy is not Emperor Arcadius.
The late Emperor Theodosius decreed that Rome be divided, entrusting you with the bountiful East. Now the Empire is in danger. The Hunnic hordes are approaching from the northeast, driving even the hardiest of barbarian tribes to flee before them. The Visigoths and their ilk migrate across your lands. They cannot be
That's the
allowed
tutorial.
to harm your people. Be mindful, too, of your southeastern territories. The Sassanid Empire is strong and will challenge you for dominion of the East. The West is guarded by the Western Romans, but they, too, are overstretched and under threat of barbarian invasion. It may be prudent to unite Rome under your banner and restore the Empire to her former glory.
I don't think that's gonna happen quickly, sir. Survive until spring. Okay, survive 5 years, and I get $2,000. That's all, huh? All right. How hard can it be? Maintain 5 mercenary units. I want to do as many of these as possible in the next 5 years. Maintain at least 75% following religion in the specified province of Greek Christianity.
As the main administrative center in a region, the settlement contains both trade and military buildings. Settlements are the main consumer of food supplies in a province, so it is vitally important to keep... This panel shows statistical information about the selected province. The right-hand section shows the elements affecting and status of public order, and the left-hand section shows the factors.
Okay, I already read it, thank you. Now, Christianity's at 70%. It's going down and paganism's going up. Arian Christianity going up. Manichaeism? Yeah! I'm sorry for getting really excited about that. Mani is really fun. Manichaeism is really fun. This is the closest the Roman Empire comes to Buddhism. Manichaeism. Can we get a edutainment button on that? Encyclopedia.
Total War Attila contains an encyclopedia function containing detailed information about all aspects of the game, including units, buildings, technologies, and sections of play. It can be accessed at any time from the dedicated button in the top left-hand corner of the campaign map or battlefield, and via the question mark buttons on most panels.
I don't think I'll find anything about religion under those categories it was saying. Manichaeism is fun. Manichaeism is really interesting. 5% of the citizens of Constantinople believe in Manichaeism. I really wish we could get a description on that because it's wild. Manichaeism is the closest the Romans come to making contact with Buddhism. There is an Eastern prophet named Mani who lived in Babylon, which went in and out in Mesopotamia. Is it even called Babylon right now in this period? Mesopotamia goes in and out of Roman control throughout various periods of the empire's history, and it looks like it is not in our control in whatever state of the game it's in right now. Is it Sassanid? Where would it be? Bahan, Doristan, Media, Atropante, Persis, Bahan, Persis. It should be like one of these. Surprising that we're not seeing a more intricate political border drawn for the Mesopotamia region. But there was a Mesopotamian prophet named Mani who believed simultaneously in Christianity and Buddhism, kind of sort of at the same time. And then I think of it as Zoroastrianism. This guy was like really trying to harmonize the triangle of the competing humanism religions that we're all developing. Come to think of it, Zoroastrianism is way more ancient than those other two. But yeah, if you ever heard a white guy who doesn't read history books but loves to smoke weed and listen to history podcasts talk about how Jesus was basically doing Buddhism and that Jesus might have traveled to the east and come back to that if during the lost years of the Gospels between Jesus' childhood and adulthood, if he was going on some kind of tantric Buddhic pilgrimage, Manichaeism is the closest actual verified real life version of that shtick. And the prophet was trying to create some kind of harmonious intersection between what were at the time brand spanking new and remarkably more sympathetic and humanistic religions that were cropping up in both East and West. Manny is his name. Manichaeism was his game. And it looks like it got popular enough here in the West for 5% of the population.
This panel shows information about a character.
Gosh! What if I want to hear that later, but not now? I'm trying to see the city details.
Have the option. As your campaign progresses, growth in a...
They actually found Buddhist figurines in Pompeii, so Buddhist ideas had already been kicking around at that point. Right, yeah, Manichaeism probably played a part in that. I think Babylon is still a city. This was before Baghdad. Public order's going down. What's the first thing you do in these games? You make trade deals.
They occurred. It can be sorted by their names. Click on one to learn more about it. A province consists of 3 regions, each one containing a settlement, the hub of activity within it. One of these is always the provincial capital, a major walled settlement.
That's a lot.
The remainder are minor settlements without defensive walls.
I have to wrap my head around all this. This does seem like kind of an intimidating start.
Troops can be stationed inside a settlement to defend it in the event of attack. Whilst there, they will also act as a deterrent. Farms, markets, and ports supply food, and settlements and certain buildings. Troops can be stationed inside a settlement to defend it in the event of attack.
Okay.
Farms, markets, and ports supply food, and settlements and certain buildings within them consume it. Although food is automatically distributed across your territory, if total consumption is not matched by production, then food shortages can occur, which can lead to unrest and ultimately rebellion. Make sure you keep food production buildings upgraded.
Man, this is a lot. I've done it before, though. I can do it again. What kind of specialties should they be having? Okay, actually, let me look at my objectives. Maintain 75%. Okay, we need 5% more Greek Christianity in Thracia. And Thrace is not the province I expected it to be.
Make sure a general is present.
It's Western Turkey and the Greek. It's the Greek mainland. I'll think of the Greek mainland.
On the point you wish to move to. When you release the cursor, the army will walk to the chosen spot.
So we need public order and more Greek Christianity. Which I guess is going to mean building buildings. The governor replied. The governor might have a religious effect too. let me see. The biggest competitor is Aryan Christianity. So funny seeing Manichaeism on there. No one knows about Manichaeism except me. I can't believe it's right there in front of me. Annotation's looking not great here. Oh, I can rename the cities. Good. That's important for keeping your short-term goals in mind. Okay. Constant.
Obedience to the rule of your faction is measured in public order. If unhappiness outweighs happiness and is left unchecked,
right? How can I rename this city to remind me that increasing Greek Christianity is a goal I need to be focusing on medium term? Wait, is there not enough character? I can't type the S. Constantinopolis. Yeah, I can't type the S. Can I escape and Jesusville. Christianople, liquid cesspool, you got it. Christianople. Christianople. It's gonna have to be misspelled a bit, but oh my gosh, it didn't rename it? What? Constantinopolis. Christianopolis. Checkmark. Okay. Christianopolis. We renamed it. I'm gonna have to remember in my head.
The overall happiness of the nation is influenced by a variety of different contributing factors, including taxation, cultural difference.
But I'm going to have to remember in my head that Greek Christianity in this historical period is different from Arian Christianity. And even though Manichaeism is incorporating some Christianity, that's going to be different from Greek Christianity. Which, like, in a few years, come to think of it, hang on a minute. This is different from Catholicism. Roma. What's the religion here? Bologna, Upi.
When unhappiness becomes too great, the people will riot, slaves will revolt, or a full-blown rebellion will occur. Factors which may cause this are food shortages, repression is the enforcement of your rule.
So, the religion in the West might be different by now. They might be doing Nicene Christianity, which is different from Greek Christianity in this game. I think the historians are going to call Orthodox instead. And Arian Christianity, which gets outdated and phased out. I don't think we can see the detailed enough to know what kind of religion they're following in those towns. Christ, Massachusetts. Right, what's our next goal? And 5 mercenaries, I'll get around to it. Research codification of laws.
This tab enables you to research the technology that will give you an advantage over your rivals. To begin, simply select the item you...
Let me double check what it was. Codification of laws. How have we not had that already? During the fracturing of the Empire, much knowledge and organization was lost. It was therefore up to lawmakers and their administrators to repair that damage. Oh, okay, that explains. I guess it would be under civic. Oh! Oh, we can do that right away! Why do we have to do this again, though? In AD 429, Theodosius II... Okay, okay, so it's not literally inventing codification of laws, it's reforming their existing system. 22 experts over 9 years to pull together across 16 volumes the foundation of the 12 tables. So we're going to be working on a huge encyclopedic volume that's going to take 22 expert lawyers 9 years to pull together across 16 volumes and make the biggest legal reform in the Roman Empire since the 12 tables, and we're not even doing it in the same place, certainly not the same time. We can do it very fast, though. Day's thought can save a lifetime of fruitless labor. Decreases corruption by 1%. I hate that there's a load time for these encyclopedia trees. So in 5 turns, we'll have one of these bonus goals squared away. That means that for the first 5 turns, we might want to focus on a bit of a pacifistic playstyle, which is fine by me. Maintain at least 35% of the following religion across all provinces. Oh boy. %. Does that mean every single province under my control needs to have 35%? Production, public order. Macedonia is 45% Christian. Egypt is 40% Christian. Cilicia. Is this the Homer territory? Tarsus, Onum, Myra. Yeah. Western Turkey is Homer territory. Homer might have come from whatever the town in Tarsus area was in. They're 60% Christian, considerably more so than some other territories. Asia. Asia. Homer was from Asia. Ephesus. I think Ephesus is way closer to where they think Homer was from than Tarsus over there. They're 50%. Libya is 30%. Libya needs more. Libya's our first real problem spot. Okay, Libya. Can I rename Libya? Mongolia, Praetonium, Ptolemais. This is going to be a reminder. Sanitation's not looking good in a lot of these towns. Why are they calling Crete Insulae Orientalis? Oh, that's like the Eastern Sea or something like that? Oh, islands! Islands to the east. Insulae Orientalis. Right, I get it. What a game! I love this. 70% Christian. Nice. Oh, this might make a lot of sense, actually. Rhodes, Thesis. Because one of these islands... I think this one right here is Patmos, where the Book of Revelations was written. So Jewish survivors of Roman conquests of Jewish lands over here were getting exiled to these islands over here, and the grief and horror and trauma of going through that made Christianity pretty popular for a lot of them. So it would make sense that the demographics on these islands would lean more Christian than pagan. Wait a second, how does Judaism work? Oh no! Oh no, it's just not there. It's just not there. Holy cow, that is interesting. Yeah, an expert knowing what is going on in the Middle East right now. Greek Christianity, Zoroastrianism, Manichaeism. There is no Judaism. There is no Judaism here. Are they trying to say it's already a genocided diaspora that's split up across the rest of the planet in such a small minority they're not even going to show up on these graphics? On these surveys? Syria's not doing great in terms of Christianity. We're going to have to make a reminder there too. So, Asia, Macedonia, come on, Asia. Libya, I remember renaming. Insulae, Cappadocia. Cappadocia is what? Yeah, more Turkey. Okay. 60% Christian. The Dardanelles. Ah, yes. All you Trojans, you Dardanelles. We're at 40% Christian. Palestina is 46% Christian. Where is the Judaism, though? Game is not passed. There is a Jewish faction, the Himyar in Yemen. Okay, so, Yemen. Yemen, like right around here? Look at how big the Suez Canal is here in 395 AD. No Bashi. Southern tip of Arabian. I don't know if I see them in the game though. Oh, wait a second. I was definitely not looking at the right peninsula. Okay, the Himyar in Yemen. So, yes, this is where you would look at the demographic chart and actually see Judaism represented. Led, Daman, Oman, Afar. Can't believe I was looking at the wrong the whole time. Arabia's way huge.
You have selected a character belonging to another faction that you cannot control.
Oh. Cunning. Okay. Let's get back to doing the survey. We're under 35%. I need to make a reminder to get it higher. I think Syria. Yeah, Syria is where we need more. Antioch. Tyrus. Isa. Tyre! Yeah! Tyre! Everyone knows Tyre. It's funny seeing it called Tyrus. Rename. Hey, is there a little Unicode cross I could put in the box here? Unicode cross. See if it works. It put an apple there instead. There might be a couple other Unicode crosses I could try. Apple! Apple! Are all these Unicode symbols just gonna be a apple? Some of them aren't copy-pasted. Okay. Bithynia. We got Ankara, Sinope, Media. I remember these towns being a way bigger deal in Rome 2 than they look here. And Christianity is 65%, they're fine. Look at all that Western Rome has. It's all gonna come falling apart in a few years, isn't it? Alright. I have reminders planted about getting Christianity up there. We have $9,000 to spend on churches. Sure that the following factions have no Visigoths. 396. Next year, the Visigoth Alaric invaded Greece, devastating its cities, killing their occupants, plundering the wheat. Sure that the following factions. Where?
This list shows all forces.
Visigoths. 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 Oh. Oh, they're right there. I'm at war with them. I gotta get them out of there. This should be like goal number 1. We have enemy barbarians already at the gates at the very beginning of the campaign. Vanguard of Lugus. Thunder and Light. Okay, how much time did I have to get them out of there? 5 years? Alaric, invaded Greece. Is this the actual guy? Okay, I need a notepad. Notepad. Priority list. Number 1. Let me actually put this on stream. There's actually, can we do this in game? A little notepad list of reminders. This is gonna take forever to get the actual game going. I'm not. Oh, oops, that's my Civ note, not my there, priority list. Yeah. Number 1. Get Visigoths out of Greece. Number 2. Repel us out of Greece. Number something on down the line is going to have to be increase Christianity. Christo. Sergio. I guess I don't have to worry about the Ostrogoths right now. The Visigoths that are the Faction. Ostro. Where are the Ostrogoths? Do they have anything to do with Austria? Ostrogoths. Sort by name. Where? What? Who? I don't see them on the list. There's the Visigoths and the Tanukis. Don't see Ostrogoths. I've not encountered this faction yet. Maintain 5 mercenaries. We need to increase Christianity a little bit. Increase Christianity. Nope. Appropriately labeled regions. Repel Visigoths. And I'm probably gonna get some player-oriented goals on the list soon. Are we having a budget crisis? No, we are kind of having a public order crisis. 0, 4. Same for days. It doesn't look like public order is good anywhere. Oh yeah, it's not. Public order is mediocre in Palestina, but it's not good. So yeah, public order ranges on a scale from mediocre to bad. That sounds like an important thing to put on the list. That sounds like a number 2 important goal under repelling the Visigoths. I don't know, it actually depends on how much time I have, because I stand to make a lot of money if I just throw some money at the Christianity buildings before the next, what is it going to be? 4 turns for the seasons, over 5 years is 20 turns. I got 20 turns to do all this goal. So increased public order, I hate to say, is actually going to have to be on the back burner on the bottom of the list. It might be something more important to worry about later than right now. Public order is not great. Alright, so we've gone down the list of short-term objectives. We reviewed the public order. Food surplus, I think, is fine.
The faction summary tab gathers together essential statistics and information,
like food.
enabling you to
Where do we
check
get
the status
food
of your
breakdown?
campaign. The records tab is used to log events and store campaign statistics.
Ability, building, hordes. Okay, so maybe when I get rid of them, I think that means I'm making a profit. Yeah, I can see it. That's how the math is adding up. 404 minus 354 is like 50. Food and sanitation are the reasons why PO is so bad. Okay, okay. Food malice is local, not global. Having a global food surplus does not affect local public order. There is a provincial food amount and a global food amount. Right, so you want to keep a balance. If what I remember from Davidian and Paris still holds true, you want to keep a balance between the provinces that are importing and the provinces that are exporting. Try and make sure your empire-wide food situation is in the green. I don't know if I fully understand the food shortage. Public order minus 20. There we go. Now we're seeing it. So even though the empire overall has a food surplus, there's certain regions that have a food shortage. And unfortunately, the capital region. Shortage. Okay, this is actually a increased public order. Doot, 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 boop. By increasing food supplies. Nice. So hopefully I won't have to deal with this business of charismatic generals stepping foot inside the border of the territory to manage public order and having it zigzag back and forth to extremes depending on where the general is deciding to park their car for the night.
We hunger for battle.
Okay.
Ready for battle.
Oops, I'm selecting armies, not regions. Food shortage and constant retreat. Syria, Cappadocia, Central Turkey, and Constantinople, Syria, Turkey. I think we're back. I've scrolled through them all. Okay. Alright, what next do we have on our checklist? Done at the local level. Food is basically a secondary concern. Currency. Some buildings produce food, others consume. Right. And striking a balance is going to come at some kind of strategic sacrifice of something that's hopefully not that. Okay, I think the next important thing to check on to get an understanding of what getting thrown into the tough office of the complicated empire is going to be foreign relations. Known factions. Should we start with who hates us the most, or who... We definitely should start with who likes us the most, because holy cow does the Roman Empire have a lot of enemies. Ah! Oh my god! Yeah, okay, so I guess if the Himyars are,
Do not wander in like a desert beggar. If you have something to say it like a civilized man.
Abu Kariba. Judaism! There it is! Okay, so... The Jewish diaspora managed to consolidate into some kind of state of whatever these Himyars are here, and they definitely do not like us. That's kind of reasonable. Wow, that's a lot of enemies. The Alans, the Visigoths are like invading right now. What are the Tanukis?
Be welcome.
They're Eastern Christianity.
If
What?
you come in peace.
Are they Gnostics?
If you come with false words, dripping with honeyed lies.
I feel like the writing is the same, but the voice acting is better. I think I remember hearing Rome 2 voice actors say that exact line, but with less conviction and less exoticism in their accent. Oh, they're a horde faction. Wow. So we have a shitload of enemies, 4 of whom are fighting a war with us right now. And among allies, we only have really 3, and one of them is really powerful. Nobatea and Lazica. Puppet states. Wow. Oh, good. Armenia is friendly with me. That's a relief. Huns are neutral but invading anyway. So what you would do in these games as the good thing to do on turn 1...
If a faction's initial offer or demand isn't quite what you had in mind, you can use the counter-offer option to enable further negotiation to take place, rather than simply rejecting it.
Eastern Christianity. Look at all these Christians in Arabia and the Middle East. And then the Persian Empire is going to be Zoroastrianism, which I don't know how close it is in Christianity in terms of the raw nitty-gritty, but they're at least monotheist. The Near East is monotheizing. Monotheizing? Anyways, look at all these different kinds of Christianity too. So by Eastern Christianity, what do they mean by that? Because when I close my eyes and think of it as a modern day person, I think of the Greek Christianity stuff, which is, I think, the official religion of the Eastern Roman Empire now, which is going to be different from the Nicene Christianity of the Western Roman Empire. Oh wait, what did it actually say if I click on their name? Let's go back. Scroll down to Western Rome. Latin Christianity, that's what they're calling it. Latin Christianity versus Greek Christianity. Yeah, this Eastern Christianity is wild. I think this might be referring to the Gnosticism stuff, which is about as much interest in pagan-style magic and monsters and mythology that any version of real official Christianity would ever get to have. Not a lot of solid historical records. Calling it Eastern Christianity sounds like a pretty vague, almost cop-out of them trying to get into the dizzying diversity of how many different kinds of Christianities were around at the time. But in any case, I'm getting besides the point. We need to make trade deals with whoever is friendliest with us, regardless of what sort of interesting demographic history we might be able to get into. Bastia. Who are these guys? They hate me. Cultural aversion, religious prejudice, religious aversion, and they hate me because I'm a big, scary, intimidating empire. Some of those are reasonable. Some of them we can probably work out our differences with the trade dealers. But like, how can I get an overview of how big and powerful they are?
You have my
Strength
attention.
ranking 40.
Now, do not try to charm, wheedle, or...
Strength ranking 1, 43. How do we get a solid bead on how much territory they control and how much of it are big scary army? Also, one of the interesting dynamics going on here is that when you look at the map here and see that Western Rome has, like, yeah, a good chunk of Germany, all of France, all of Spain, half of the British Isles, all of Italy, Western Africa. Western Europe and Britain right now are not giving them a lot of money and power. Yeah, we're still a ways off from this territory being as lucrative as the stuff we have in the East right now. Under this period, Turkey and Greece are economically prosperous and powerful, and Egypt especially is going to be a very bustling urban center of breadbasket prosperity that I think has been relatively safe from a lot of the instability of the rest of the world. The Western Roman Empire, it's weird looking at this and thinking that they are in the more precarious situation than the Eastern Roman Empire is right now. But yeah, I look at this and I instinctively think, oh god, I better be nice to them. But historically speaking, no, we're allowed to kick them around a bit. Huh. But anyways, Roman Bassin. Bastia. They just have that one little province to themselves. They're afraid of me because I'm big. They also don't like my religion's...
I am here, then. Speak
offer,
your words,
propose offer. I
and
cannot
be sure
propose
that
a
I
trade
find
deal.
profit in them.
Alright, so... Aggression pact with Assassinate.
Am
Trade
I
with them.
always to be
No, I
disturbed by
can't.
foreigners?
Orions? Mauritania?
In time, two things always smell. Fish and uninvited guests.
So how do I set up a trade deal? It's good to know that even though everyone's pretty angry with me, they're not that angry. Negative 59, we can manage that. Negative 58.
You have the ear of my people. Do not waste words. Worthy of better.
Oh, I also see a lot of interesting diplomacy is terrible in this. Eastern Orthodox Christianity. I think that's the Greek Christianity that's the majority religion of the right now. Oh, the add offer demand button at the top of the window. Okay. Trade agreement.
This option is used to broker trade agreements. Once agreed, a trade route is opened between your territory and that of your trade partner, enabling goods to be traded for mutual advantage and profit. There is no limit to the number of trade routes a faction can have.
Oh.
Did I hear you correctly?
Okay. A trade agreement with a non-aggression pact. Oh, that makes it worse? I think they would be a fan of that. They're out of the way. We're not competing over the same territory. Maybe I just gotta throw them a dollar or two.
Breaking a pact within 10 turns is seen as treachery and will therefore affect the ability to broker future agreements.
Yeah.
You present honest terms.
Alright, now who is next? Oh, here we go. Okay, guys.
Before you say anything, know that I have an amulet against the evil eye. Dark sorcery will gain you knowledge.
Trade. I cannot trade. A route cannot be established. Sassanids.
I am here, then.
Trade.
Speak your words, and be sure that I find profit
Throw them
in
some money. Nope.
I have heard.
Okay, so what is their deal? Why are they less accepting of me than They don't like the Gassaned. Alright, Morians, you are up next.
Before
How hard
you
of
say
a
anything,
sell are
know
you
that
guys
I have
gonna
an
be?
amulet against the evil eye. Dark sorcery will gain you naught.
Cultural aversion. Okay, they have a beef against the Western Roman Empire. That's... Nope. Not having it.
The door is open to you, but if you wish to go beyond the court...
The Franks.
You have the ear of my people. Do not waste words. We are worthy of better.
Alright. Okay, let's look at this map by strength. Now, I'm not entirely understanding what determines a strength rank. Factions rated against all existing factions. Because that seems wild that the Roman Empire is at the bottom of that list. Did we begin the campaign during, like, a moment where all the legions are getting defeated? Like, the borders are still drawn pretty intimidatingly, but what is this strength ranking of? You have it reversed. Oh! Okay, that's making more sense now. So, Western Rome is number 1, Sassanid is number 2. Wow, I'm actually kind of down the... Oh, I'm not on the list. Am I number 2? Because we're jumping from 1 to 3. Wait, who's number 4 then? Maybe I haven't encountered the number 4 faction? Okay, the Franks are not to be messed with. The Visigoths are kind of scary. Going too far in any direction looks like I'm gonna be bumping into one of these intimidating powers. And I don't know how I'm really gonna be able to evenly distribute a respectable force across all these borders. I'm gonna be stretched thin no matter what I do, aren't I? Alright. Let's just try to pay attention to the top 10s right now. Franks are to be feared, Huns are to be feared, Sassanids are to be feared, Western Romans are to be kept happy. I'm gonna go pee. I'll be right back. Also, we need a bit of light. A bit of light in here. You had the graph upside down. Probably are number. Well, then who's number 2? While I was contemplating the complexity of my strategic endeavors, I guess I'm really probably going to be pressured into having the most fighting along this river border here. Northern Thrace. I'm going to put that on my reminder list. Expel Visigoths out of Greece by mobilizing along Northern Greece border. Which, ironically, calling Macedonia, Dardania. And the modern map isn't like Dacia, isn't Dardania? I think Dardania is where Macedonia. Thracia. So most of the scary factions are northern. There are some scary ones to the southeast, but I don't think they are actively fighting me. Alans, Visigoths, Tanukids are, okay. So of the 4 factions I'm at war with, 3 of them are to the north, 1 of them's to the southeast, and I think that's going to mean mobilizing a border by main defending southeast borders. So I think that's where we gotta focus. Most of the focus on northern Greece, and a minor focus on the southeast and the Middle East. Okay. Ooh. Ooh, can I set a target on the Visigoth army? Objective grade diplomacy. Ah, it's killing me that the diplomacy screen is different from the strategic overview. Diplomacy. Set war coordination target on the Visigoths. So wait, who are my allies? Who are gonna be attacking these guys with me? Lazikas probably won't make it in time. Western Romans should. Don't think those others will. The Nobashians might, and the Lazikans might be a useful ally for the stuff going on the southeast, but I can't set 2. Alright. We've read the news. We have read the goals. We've looked over our provinces. We've looked over the foreign factions. We're still not done getting
When you
acquainted because
selected
now
a
we got to
faction,
figure out the
you
family.
also chose a family or party to represent within its political system. Your faction leader is the head of the party you chose. The influence of each party member affects its overall power. Winning battles as a general and completing construction projects as a governor may increase influence. The popularity of your party is the sum total of its members' influence versus that of the opposing party.
Oh, there it is. So there is a possibility to go back to Greco-Roman paganism. 30% of the people still are into that. Manichaeism would be so funny. Defensive allies with gas in it. So don't I gain a lot by just putting people in these offices? Governors, Jesus. Complicated. What is a rank of 7? What are these numbers I'm looking at? Loyalty, influence, age, rank of 7. You want to appoint all of your governors, but it does have a cost. Some of those offices cannot be filled until someone has spent enough time in a lower office. Okay, a lot of these characters are Commander-in-Chief, 32, rank of 5. How do I see the rank? Loyalty is apparently different from rank, but the numbers scale similarly. Oh, the bottom of the hierarchy are the literally lower offices. Okay, so I actually have to start them out as military counts. Where are the governors? I saw governors a while ago and then it like disappeared on me. Summary,
The family
records.
tree shows the relationships between members of your faction's ruling family. Family members can be made heir to the faction leadership, married or divorced. They may seek to embezzle funds for your cause or rally support for your family amongst the elite. You can spread rumors about other faction members to diminish their popularity or carry out assassinations as you see fit. Select a character's portrait to see which options are available.
Okay, now what about the governors? Got my military counts. It looks like these are going to be good for me, right? Replenishment plus, down on recruitment cost. They all become more important characters slowly. But where did that governor list go? Where I had a list of governors that were like all empty. Oh, this button right here. Okay. Everyone is busy with other jobs, unfortunately. Let's put governors on my most important. Thracia. 42, 35, 7 out of 10. Let's put the most important guy. Oh, never mind. Click's just. You appoint governors after you assign them to lower courts. There, okay. Wait, I did it! Okay. I was looking away from the screen when it happened. Asia's pretty important. Egypt is pretty important. Let me take another list at which ones are making me the most money right now. Thrace. Oh, Macedonia. Alright, Egypt. Cilicia. Macedonia and Egypt. That's an easy enough
Your
list.
family's political power is
And there are
determined
not many
by two
left.
factors: control and dominion. Your control over the political situation and the elites is determined by your ability to resolve political matters and react to other faction events.
Wait, is it
and
costing
can
me
be hard
money to do
attain.
this? I also
Your
think I have to
dominion
double
over the
click or
faction
something,
and
and
the
it's
people,
not.
however, depends on
being
your
super
family
easy.
members' influence versus that of your faction's other
2.99.
nobles.
Did I spend money doing that? I didn't hear like a coin jingle or anything. Okay.
Influence is the accumulated standing of a character.
Don't worry about it right now. 4 characters are on their way to offices. Military count. I hope those bonuses are empire-wide. All the patricians who are available have been sent to important offices. Okay. I don't know if I fully understand the family tree political intrigue stuff going on yet, but we're getting there. We're getting there. We at least have the boxes filled. Plus money to appoint it. It did. It might have snuck past me, but it did cost money. Okay, now the other thing we gotta do, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, is 7 armies. We have 7 armies right off the bat here, and we gotta figure out how to specialize them, how to visualize what the forces look like. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh no, they're small. All right. We sort them by name, so the 2, 3, 3, 4, 10, 11. What is this one? 22. I think there's a way to rename them as well.
A character's household is the objects, assistants,
so
and general
we're gonna fix
that he or
this.
she accumulates whilst carrying
We're living
out
in a
their
more
tasks, and which in turn affect their abilities.
Oh
They are
jeez.
acquired as the campaign progresses and can be assigned to a character or placed in.
Fulminata. Lavius. My integrity. Oh, that's right. They can like mutiny and revolt if you don't manage infighting going on.
Ready for battle.
None of these guys are close. Okay, one of these guys is close to where I need them to be. But they don't have the numbers I need.
Commander, ready for orders.
The barbarian horde is genuinely terrifyingly large. Okay, so the first armies I'm gonna start with, I'm gonna ignore those others for a while because I gotta.
In addition to skills,
I was thinking.
characters develop traits that affect their abilities. Some traits are present.
11th Legion. Hey, what is their specialty here? Like they have much of a integrity. 3. Integrity is not. Is Vindon?
Male faction members
Shut
may also
up!
attempt to.
I'm thinking! Is he on the list here? Ah, yes he is. Okay, he's a military count. Thracia. I need to call it Thracia. I'm going to be using the hard K for some of these men. Which, by the way, I don't think history has agreed upon this thing about the hard K in Greco-Roman linguistics. When I was visiting Greece, the maps would call the palace, the Homeric palace that Henrik Schliemann excavated and claimed Agamemnon himself lived at. It was either Mycenae or Mycenae, depending on who you were talking to. I remember a taxi driver saying Mycenae. I remember the knickknacks at the tourism stores calling it Mycenae. I remember some of the signs on the road using a K, and some other signs on the road using a C. It was, everyone just knew what you were talking about. Alright, the 11th Legion is resting. Their situation. We worry about money. Yeah. Also, is it just me, or is their armor looking kind of shit compared to what I remembered from the good old days of Era? Yeah, there is significantly less plate and scale I am seeing on these guys. Oh, they're using mail! Maybe it is technologically superior, but doesn't look like it to the eyeball. Okay, those guys are javelins, spear, and heavy sword. Either of them could hurt, but I don't know. Look at that. We have a 14, 28 units. Barbarians who almost are going to have free reign for a couple turns. How do I get the numbers to go against that on this difficulty level I've chosen?
Hunger for battle. Battle. Command. Battle. Commander. At your command.
Can I make them easier to spot from up here? Doesn't look like that emblem. Very visible from far up I'm gonna. The icons are kinda getting away in the background. They're already wounded? Jeez. I'm gonna have to be on the defense for the first couple turns. This is bad. This is really bad. Alright, let's stay in that town. Oh. Can't recruit anyone.
Ready for battle.
Ratio.
Ready for orders. Are you ready to serve? It is a great and glorious thing to serve your people. We need good fighters. Sign up, lads, for a good and glorious life.
Their capacity. 3 turns, we can get a full stack going.
For battle.
With Flavia Felix, what does that mean? Appius. We'll call it the 4th Legion arrange them by name. Good, the more relevant ones will come up. These guys are... They're gonna have to keep a safe distance from the Goths.
Ready for battle.
So for 3 turns, Greece is gonna be getting devastated.
Battle.
Mercenaries might be used. Not recruit unit. Not available. Oh, are the mercenaries helping the Goths? I think that onager is. Field, I might. Basic Roman spear unit is usually worth 3 tribal units. That's good to know. Although you're kind of spoiling it. Like, I was not feeling confident going up against them without the usual, like, 3-on-1 numerical superiority you generally want. Losing a battle isn't that bad in this game if you can inflict a disproportionate amount of damage.
Hunger for battle.
Man, they're gonna be...
Sign up, lads, for a good and
3, 1,
glorious life.
3. That's as much as they're gonna give us. Are we ready to end the turn? Nah, let's consolidate and move these armies down here.
Commander.
This sucks. This sucks that I have five armies in the east and only 2 in the west where I actually need them in the short term. So the enemies down here in the southeast are the Nobashians.
Greetings, my friend.
South
Greetings.
of Egypt.
I
Oh
think-
wait, no, those are allies. What am I doing? The Tanukids, right? It's Arabia. I want to be moving those armies to defend
Ready for battle.
my
Ready for orders.
Palestina territory.
We hunger.
Whoever
Commander.
the
Ready for
Arabian
battle.
faction. Okay, so I got this guy,
We hunger for battle.
this
Ready
guy.
for orders. Ready for orders.
I'm having a hard time.
At your we hunger.
Okay,
for
not
battle.
that guy.
At your command. Commander.
Not this guy.
We
and
hunger. Commander.
3.
At your
The one closest to where they actually need to be. Well, Flavius. Fundatia. Start. 12th. Fundatia. I'm really hoping that Armenia doesn't decide to attack
ready
next
for
turn.
orders. Commander.
2, 3. Okay, now I think I'll be a bit more organized if I decide to start moving one of these guys.
We hunger for battle. Waiting
And
for
so I
orders.
can have 3 armies to the north, 3 armies to the southeast. I can wrap my head around that. I'm out of money! I'm out of money!
Ready
Let's-
for orders.
Build our troops for 2 turns. 3 turns. Other army. 2.
Ready for battle.
There we go.
Come fight with us. Are you ready to serve? Sign up, lads, for a good and glorious life. We hunger for battle. Commander.
And Need to remind myself of where the enemy is down there. The new kids. Okay, they're somewhere in the fog of war here. And these Gassanids are not the same thing. New kids.
Do not wander in like
Sorry.
a desert beggar. If you have something to say, say it like a civilized man.
At your command. We hunger for battle. We hunger for battle. At your command.
Move them to
I want
Emesa.
hourly patrols.
These
To
guys.
your duties, men.
Trajan's new city. Hey. Why didn't the alert box pop? Should have been fabulous flash of text, color, language as I read the following words. Oh, thanks for the $10, guy dude. Hello, Gorge. Just want to say I love your stuff. Thanks, guy dude. I love your $10. Yeah, it's all an equal exchange. The game sets you up for spectacular failures by arcade cabinet logic. I think I'm playing on hard. I'm playing on the one that's recommended for people who have played Total War before. That's the one I picked. Hint and tips. Is it going to be actually... We'll look at that stuff later. But yeah, I think we're on hard mode right now. I don't think we're on like super duper legendary or anything. But oh, battle difficulty is set to normal. But that's different from campaign difficulty, which I don't think you can change once you start. And also I have the 60-minute time limit turn on, which in these games always is kind of sort of an easy mode checkbox. Once you can predict what the AI is going to do, you can play by timer instead of by tactics or strategy, and it's such an easier solution. But yeah, we're not on easy, I know that much. Whoa, I don't know if I wanted to press that yet. Okay, maybe the armies need to like pay attention to their stances.
Commander. Ready for orders. Commander.
No, the armies don't need to pay attention to their stance. Okay, technology, I believe I already cleared away. What were they yelling at me for? Oh, an edict! Thracia, Macedonia, Egypt. You may still assign a provincial governor. May I? I didn't know I could. I thought I was fresh out. I hope he wasn't saying anything important because I was pressing escape to clear all those menus out. Thrace, Macedonia, Cilicia, Asia, and let's see if I can assign governors. Oh. Okay, we did get a governor to Cilicia. Can't make the king the governor of Asia, though. Still predict. Cilicia, Thracia. Okay, Thracia is currently under barbarian invasion, so this is probably the most important. Maybe Divine Liturgy is what I want. +4 Greek Christianity. I think that's exactly what we needed. Constantinopolis. But none of these are helping out with combat. I don't think food's a big problem right now. Fulfilling those religion goals. Okay, what was next? Egypt. Egypt, I think, is going to be relatively peaceful. Public order's neutral. Shouldn't they be making me a lot of food? Quite sure I understand. Oh, those are per city. Okay. So we are making a profit on food. What about money? How can I see how much money this... There, 1628. Local income. What does that mean? How do I want to be optimizing them? I think they're pretty Christian enough already, so that's not important. Maybe it's food production I want here? That morale buff is really good. Plus 10 to morale of new recruits. Basically 20%. Some buildings cost upkeep, like churches. We don't got money for buildings right now. We need to get those Germans out of here. Order. I guess Christian... Yeah, I guess Egypt... Christian late Roman Egypt should be getting the rural development policies. Plus 20 food, buff to growth. Now let me take another look at this morale buff. I don't see it. Morale training. Oh, that's the one I had scheduled for anyway. It comes with the buff to Christianity. Okay. Now, what was left for the... I see at a glance. Cilicia, Macedonia. Cilicia, Macedonia. They have governor icon. Oh, you need a governor to issue an edict. Okay. That's how you can tell at a glance. Now, these towns did not need the Christianity. Oh, they can get a public order bonus from the presence of Greek Christianity, and public order is a problem, but the presence of Greek Christianity is not. Now, what about food? Are these guys a breadbasket? A little bit, but not as much as Egypt. Yeah, I kind of like the idea of giving them the public order bonus from Christianity. Okay, Macedonia was the last one left we had to decide a policy on. At a glance, this looks like a fairly prosperous region. Yeah, they're making a lot of money, consuming a moderate amount of food. But they're currently in trouble from these Goths. Wait, I thought, oh, it was Thrace I already, but maybe they're gonna be, kind of facing the same problem. That's public order going down. Yeah, let's do the public order bonus. Okay, now, how long was my first turn? I think I'm finally ready to press the end turn button. And OBS is telling me I played this for 2.5 hours. That can't possibly be right. That was a ridiculously long first turn. Liquid cesspool. You sound like you know what you're doing. What am I missing here? You take a corruption penalty to income from owning a certain amount of regions. Like an hour and a half, it's pretty normal. Am I missing anything? Am I missing anything? Because, you know, with these games, there's mechanics and systems you should be paying attention to that it won't shove in your face like some other stuff. But I think I got it all. I covered this screen. I covered the governors. I went down the list of forces, I customized them, renamed them to make them easier to remember, renamed some of the towns to make it easier to remember. I put a little notepad. Oh, I need to save this to desktop. Let's call it, I was about to say Rome 2. Rome Attila. Byzantine objectives.txt. Okay, so repel Visigoths out of Greece by mobilizing along 8th Corridor Rail. We're working on it! It's going to take 2 more turns, but we'll get there. Increase Christianity in Constantinople. I think we're kind of already there. We did it with the governor buff. It might take 2 more turns to tick the box, but it's on its way. Increase Christianity in Christos-labeled regions. We're working on it. We'll get to it. We need a budget. We need a construction budget, and right now the budget's all going to military. It's a higher priority. By defending southeast borders. We did it. We mobilized the troops on the southeast borders. We should be good to go for the next turn. I hope. Maybe not. We'll find out. Increase public order. We worked on it by increasing food supplies. Now that's going to require a construction budget, which means not right now, next turn, right? I have criticisms, but I'm already backseating quite a bit. I think you've touched every system. Okay. Okay, you know, confident enough for me. Let's make a save just in case we need to save scum. Let me go to the bathroom and pee real quick, and then we'll press the intern button and see what really stupid mistake I missed that's gonna get my ass kicked. So one of the great paradoxes of these kinds of games is that when your empire gets really large and complicated, it makes you feel like there is more at stake at every turn because there's so much shit to go over, and only maybe like 3 spots on these borders here where it could go really wrong. By everyone else's perspective on the planet, it looks like I am fine, but when you're in control of these giant things, it makes you panic. When your empire is small, the decisions are simpler, therefore there's less like choice anxiety. When your empire is large, you're constantly worried that it's going to fall big, but when your empire is small, it's pretty easy to tell whether or not all your fronts are protected at a quick glance. I'm going to run to the bathroom. I'll be right back. I'm having fun. I'm thinking strategically. I'm having fun. Tempted to check my cell phone, but I'm not gonna. Okay. Microphone. No, slow down, slow down. Okay, thank you. Visigoths. Oh, good, they're splitting up. They're splitting up.
Winning a battle isn't just about greater numbers.
Through this, I am not playing that. I knew what was going to happen. I knew the risks.
Battle statistics are displayed here. A very large army or fleet spread over 2 or more unit stacks may not be able to...
I really hope they don't occupy these cities. I heard that they do more sackings in this game than occupations, and... yeah, I think that's what's happening here. Owner, Eastern Rome. Owner... okay, they didn't occupy. Call to arms. Your ally is under attack. Okay, Western Roman Empire is being invaded by the Swabians. who are over here. They're a horde moving through. Their allies are the Alemanni. They don't like me. Yeah, sure. I don't think I have to do anything.
Our struggle will end badly for all. I
Oh.
suggest peace.
Okay. They'll give me 900 bucks in a peace treaty. All right. The Huns have been repelled. We did it, everyone.
That you join this war as honor demands.
Against the Alemanni. Yeah, sure. I don't think I have to do anything. I'm not joking when I say that I've easily beat 20 stacks with a basic garrison. Wait, how? If they have an onager, it is impossible, but it is worth fighting battles otherwise. Oh, they only took 700 bucks? That wasn't that bad. You're right, that was not that bad. Political obstruction. My candidate has been blocked from office by my opponents. What will you do? Flavius and Dacius. What am I looking at? Power balanced 48%, Dominion 31%, Control 70%. Political obstruction. I'm having a hard time understanding even the basic situation here. Political obstruction. It said that one of my candidates was blocked by another, and now that description went away. Okay, influence -10 for him, or influence -15 for him. Or forget it. What does forget it do? I guess this is the best outcome. He loses less influence and gains the office that I think I wanted for him anyway. Also, my cell phone ran out of batteries. I have to go get the other one. And there is another one! For balance. What is... I thought... I don't... What? Is this gonna happen for every single person I tried to make a military count? There were 4 of those, I think. Disappointed. Military count. -15 for Flavius Arcadus. Influence. 56. Ugh. You lose influence, which is pretty bad. I mean, control. Control is harder to recover. The influence is that little dial next to the character. Control has remained at 70 throughout all of this, but now I'm being given the option to ding the amount of influence on the Emperor himself. 56. I want to reduce that to, what are we looking at? 41. That's 15. 10 for. Ooh. So what does this look like now? There are 3 Flaviuses in here. Arcadius took a hit to his influence. Control has remained 70%. One thing I think I had to learn through intuition here, it's not telling me on the screen, is that I'm managing like House Flavius. This weirdly made more sense in Rome 2, where there are several royal families at play and you have to make sure that they get along well enough to prevent a civil war. It was a little clearer, still really convoluted, but I felt like I learned that system, and now I feel like I'm being thrown back onto the early stages of the learning curve.
Ready for orders. Ready for battle. At once.
So I'm remembering from last time
Get the stakes up.
that it is not
It is
strategically
a great and glorious thing to serve your people.
it is not strategically
We need good
advantageous
fighters.
to stay at home and recruit. Do it. Move.
Ready for battle.
So with these 2 Gothic armies split up from each other, I feel a little more confident about at least getting my army to move around while we're. And I think since they are raiding, they can't move around as much. Look at how much smaller their movement range for next turn is. Minimum requirement time to assume it eats up 25%. That looks like more than 25%.
Ready for battle.
I don't know if I'll get attacked or not by
We hunger for battle.
getting another turn of recruitment in, but closer to the enemy.
Get the stakes up. Come, fight with us.
Now there was another one, an eagle. Yeah, here we go.
We hunger for battle.
We got 2 skirmishers, heavy spear, and a heavy melee.
Advance. You have further orders?
2 skirmishers.
It's a
Who
good
are the
life.
others? Alright. Look at all the news! That's so much news! Oh my god. Alright, we have just encountered the Ostrogoths. Still in the fog of war. Diplomacy. Ostrogoths. Okay, they're a horde army? Somewhere around here. Ebdanian. From Ablana. Reigning in Britain. Surprise there. Visigoths. Ah, yes, yes. These are my auto-resolved garrisons. So, are you saying, Liquid Cesspool, that, if I had manually played those battles out, I would at least have caused a lot of casualties on my way down? It looks like the auto-resolve did not take a lot of casualties out of them, and that they're going to recover over a turn. Franks and Saxons, Swabians and Western War, Himyar and Lochman. Interesting. Epids, Wonder why the Huns are deciding to be considerably more. I think Greek Christianity just went down. I think they were at 70%. Turn 1. These numbers voting what? +4 to Greek Christianity. Oh yeah, and morale training +10. So that means that a few of these units should have like a bit of a morale boost. Morale 34. I'll trust it. Okay, Christian progress in Macedonia means public order. 4 bonus from presence. Still going down though. That did not fix the public order crisis in the short term. Religious differences, taxes. How are we doing? Could we lower taxes? We'll lower taxes. Right now we need money for army. Skill development. Okay, this was supposed to boost food production. 80, 90, 40. I just realized that Dardania is very low on Christianity and I didn't set myself a reminder. I wonder if they took a big hit or something from the barbarian invasion. Should I actually attack now? I am feeling pretty confident about that matchup after getting a word of confidence. If they have an onager, no, otherwise yes. Why should I fear their onagers so much? As I recall, it's the AI that can't handle artillery on these games. Human players can just hide behind cover and bait them out of their cover. Onagers will destroy your defenses and are hard to counter even in a larger settlement. The onager is really dangerous. They are net.
We hunger for battle.
Alright, I'll give them one more turn of recruiting before attacking. I don't want them to get back together though. Okay, yeah, you know what? They have an onager, but also they're split up, and they might not be split up next turn. We're attacking.
Ready for orders.
We have... Oh god, are we attacking? We're gonna think about attacking. Scouts? Light melee cavalry. Shitty archers. Good spears, but they are wounded. Now we're up against shitty spears that have high numbers. Mediocre swords with high numbers. Shitty archery with high numbers. Shitty cavalry with high numbers and one onager. I don't know, that doesn't sound like an even matchup to me. Nasty in this game. Okay, what about the other one?
We hunger for battle.
16 v 14.
Commander?
Into 14. Alright, yeah, I feel like we have a little bit more of a numerical superiority here. Our army is not wounded. Spears can counter cavalry, sword can counter spears.
Commander.
I have one unit of cavalry to keep those archers moving at least. And the onager too maybe, but they have cavalry to counter mine. They have cavalry superiority. Can we make up the difference with mercenaries actually? of available. The only mercenaries available are axemen. Oh, I don't actually have new mercenaries.
At your command.
Sword does not hard counter spears. Yes, I think I'm aware. You want to get them do anvil and hammer anvil stuff with it.
Ready for orders.
I'm not too confident because I am not used to fighting pikemen. I usually play the westerns, who are worried more about axemen. Romans have to worry most about axemen, which are very strong armor-piercing and... They don't have a lot of axemen in this stack. They don't have a lot of axemen in that stack.
Ready for battle.
Could I do this? It's tempting.
Commander.
I could throw on the Germanic axemen mercenaries just for funsies.
Ready for battle.
But if there's a spot on the map where I can take cover from the artillery, shouldn't I be able to build a spear wall around the cover, lure them into the spear wall, then get some flankers to go around in a circle, and then finish off by getting the artillery and the cavalry and the lightest of archery to then chase down the artillery at the very square end of the battle. That's how these things could have gone in games past. Okay, no, we're on hard mode. We're gonna play things a little safe. We're gonna recruit. We're not gonna attack. We're gonna recruit.
Are you ready to serve? Ready. Ready for battle.
I almost want my guys down here to push a little more, but
At your command.
nervous. Oh, wait a second, I forgot. I need to hire agents.
Agents are recruited directly from a province via the recruitment tab. Recruitment is instant, but cost may vary depending on a number of factors, such as the presence of certain buildings, faction, or character traits.
Commander.
So, yeah, I need like a scout or something so I can preview what's in that fog of war before they come after me. But I didn't know size. Number name. Oh, a taberna. Scriptorium. Tavern. If I'm gonna be spending money, let's recruit the agent. They all cost the same. One of them is a few years younger than the other. 313, 312, 313. Military. Public order +2 sounds very helpful. Red religion sounds very helpful. +4 religious influence. That sounds the most useful. Even though he has inferior numbers, he has a superior ability. Spread religion, +4. And
Priests are experts in administration and masters of manipulation. They are recruited via the Recruit Agents button when a settlement is selected, but may require certain buildings to be constructed first. Priests are vulnerable to spies, and especially effective against champions.
So, can he go into the fog? Yes, yes he can. Let's recruit. Oop. Heavy spears, Illuminati, border guards. Is this a different region? Yeah, it is. Palestine area. Okay.
Come, fight with us. Ready for battle. It is a great and glorious thing to serve your people. At your command. You may as well get comfy, men. Are you ready to serve?
Now, what's this gonna do to our budget next turn? Why is public orders? Food. Food is why. Okay, in Rome 2 there was a edict for this. I might have to pay attention to my buildings now. have insufficient funds. Ready, audit, ready, fields. 10, 30. Okay, what are the pros and cons here? I get the most food from all of them. Take public order down of 100 horse breed. It's a balance between gold and food. Yeah, okay. So let's. They need 60 food. They're making $852. Let's just prioritize food number. That's not going to solve their problem. Build? Cattle herd.
Represented by the ruined building icons on the campaign map, deserted regions contain the ruins of settlements that have been abandoned. You may encounter reduced fertility around recently desolated settlements, but also resource-rich areas around those areas reclaimed by nature over time.
Fishing jetties or trade jetties? It's neither. It's a regular jetty. Wharfs. Fertility affects the output of food-producing buildings. Some buildings, like sheep herders, are more universal. Range or you don't. It's cattle that had the highest number here, and I was questioning that, like why cattle is worth food plus 20 from agriculture, 90 additional food plus 18 per local. Okay, maybe that's actually. Let me cancel the cattle. You get 50 additional food plus 10 for local plus 18 for local. So, okay, the real output, the interface might be weird here. But does this mean that if I buy the wheat fields, I get I get 110 food. And if I buy the cattle fields, I get 90 food. In which case both of them would actually solve the food problem in 2 turns. That's quite nice. And then hopefully we'll get public order back on track, even though that will be slightly taking a penalty to the more expensive farm. Sheeps, I guess, might give me 55. Horse breeders give me 60. So even then the horse breeder could fix it. And give me plus 5% battle speed for cavalry unit recruits. Can I even recruit cattle here? I mean, cavalry. Fishing generally is generally the best. Trade buildings are bad. Is a farm a trade building? I don't have money for fish. Oh my god, I need $15 more, and then I can do the fishing jetty. But let's see. Okay, yeah, you might have to explain this to me, because it looks like the food from the fishing jetty is lower. Plus 50 food from fishing. However, that is a higher number than the plus 20 base level. It's this fertility thing. Okay, but the wheat fields give you 90 additional food, plus 18 for local fertility level. I am having a hard time parsing the game language. Fertility. Where do we... Rich, base fertility 5. Interesting. Okay, so 5 times 18. Does that add up to 90? Is that what they're saying? Where's my cat? 5 times 18 is 90! I'm figuring it out. I'm learning the math. Okay. So I think I'm getting it. The Eastern Islands here, Insulae Orientalis, they are very fertile. They're so fertile that their base fertility score is 5. And that's a multiplier. When you build farming buildings, you get 90 additional food, because you really get 18 additional food per local fertility level, and 18 times 5 is 90. Trade buildings Generally flatly trade food for income. Just depends on how min-max you are at the moment. Opportunity cost is extreme in this game. Complex buildings to adjust public orders and give people... I think it's the wheat. I think the wheat is the best way we're going to solve our food problem here. Not the cattle, the wheat. We will have a surpluses in 2 turns. And that will improve public order, but in the 2 turns it takes, public order might be down in like the negative 50s, which is alarming. If they hit 100, it's rebellion, right? Food, negative 16, they're taking negative 12, okay, so if the food goes away, there's still going to be negative, still going to be an issue. Taxes. I thought I had the, oh, I don't. They need a governor. They might need a governor more than the other. I might be fine to...
What do you wish of me? I should have worn different sandals.
That's the same lines with different voice actors from Rome too. Let's get a governor into the Insulae Orientalis for 600 bucks. Already have the maximum number of governors? What? Okay, okay. Now, which region needs a governor the least? Should I be judging that by public order? Egypt, buildings, military presence, characters only give a +1.
Loyalty is a measure of a character's devotion to the ruling party of his faction. It can be increased through political actions, as well as character skills,
oh, I can recruit a
traits,
spy
or
here?
household members. Negative traits or events may reduce loyalty. Should it reach 0, spies are subterfuge experts. They are recruited via the Recruit Agents button when a settlement is selected, but may require certain buildings to be constructed first. They are invisible to the enemy until detected. Spies are vulnerable to champions and exceptionally effective against priests.
I'm not playing these. These are just sad to play. Even if you're gonna be dealing casualties on the victorious attackers. Feels very
The order in which reinforcements take to the battle.
defeating and not fun. Play the losing side usually. Oh, winning that. Okay. Did they just attack the town and my army on the same turn? We're not healed. We're not ready. We're not ready. The odds are looking good, which is funny. Apparently we're fortifying. I don't remember pressing that button. Okay, let's see how we do. We're up against an onager and 2 cavalries. And a lot of archers. We need to play defensively and cleverly. They sacked so they can move. Oh, nice. We have one of these little... Okay, so in Rome 2, you could put stake walls in front of the AI cavalry, and they did nothing about it.
Your units inside the deployment zone before battle commences. When you're ready to fight, click on the scroll button.
In the map, I think I remember them attacking from the south, so should I put these on the south? The Onager is a really big threat here. It will burn your defense. I don't know. The auto prediction said I had a 50-50 shot. These guys will be group 1. Will be group 2. These will be group 3. Hopefully get them flanking to use their javelins.
Stay in formation! Testudo! And defend!
Spears ready!
Stand ready! Defensive!
Spear infantry at your command! Limitani! Spearmen ready for orders! Limitani!
Heaven can wait! Two horse! Yours to command! Secretariat!
These guys might be able to sneak around and flank, but I kind of want to keep group 3 back.
Move it!
I don't know how great I feel about this matchup after all.
Formation! Move!
The interface said it was a 50-50 shot at winning. It feels like less than that for me. Should the archers go out? No, group 3 are the ones who go around and...
Warriors of Christ!
General shit. Warriors of Christ. It is funny hearing the classic Roman 2 lines, but every now and then they'll throw in some Christianity. Warriors of Christ, heaven can wait.
Take time to...
Oh, thank God they're coming from the correct... Okay, about half of them are. I might be able to run down the Onager quickly. So if the Onager is a big problem, let's get the infantry to hide behind walls for now. And the cavalry to take some clever defensive actions. These guys are going to be flanking, but for now, let's have them... Have them take cover from the enemy artillery. Would be surprised if that Onager actually gets accurate shots in that far. The archers, I think, should be firing on... Are these two forces equal? 1, 2. Huh. Okay. Okay. There's more of them to the north than there are to the south. The land battles and Emperor, or at least given. Okay, you know what? Right now in this early stage, we all need to take cover from artillery at first. Which is going to mean facing the artillery in the most Projectile defensive formations popular. Loose spacing and testudo at the same time somehow. Let's see how that. Shield wall testudo. It's funny that they're differentiating. What do you want for artillery? Which one of these missile block chance? Plus 200 entity mass.
Explore the battle user interface. Press buttons and click on graphics for details of their function. Further information is available through...
We will defend our people and our lands to the
I've heard this voice actor way too many times in my life.
My sword
Oh,
will
except now he's talking about Jesus.
dead hand before I retreat. Make the same oath. Be courageous.
I remember the same guy speaking 1,000 years ago about Jupiter and Pluto instead of Christ. Look at that, they're abandoning the Onager. I'm having a hard time thinking that it's really as big a threat as I might have been led to believe. The infantry are coming in first. Spears to the north, swords to the south. Yeah, I feel good about it. Since they split their army up in two, I feel pretty good about the matchups. Where do we need to be? Get spears on both sides. We have an abundance of spears. Dun 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 dun. Dun. Alright, we just gave them onager attack orders.
At the double! Double time!
They're having trouble moving because of the testudo.
At speed!
That's why we need spears.
Yours to command. By your command! Spears ready.
Advance at speed!
Palatina guards! Limitani! Form tight formation! Down! Tight formation!
Quick march!
Limitani!
Forces going after the onager right now. They just gave us an opportunity. Or should the horse go after the archers first? Horse is going to go after onager first, archers second.
The enemy is attacking our general!
These guys shooting or not? Could be. We're already having a wavering unit.
Our men return to the fight! Enemy units have rallied and returned to the battle!
The cavalry just charged into the stakes without thinking about it.
Warriors of Christ!
I'm also wondering what the equivalent of guard mode are those foes doing.
Our men
What?
have given up and are running for their lives!
But which men? Oh, these guys. Oh God, how did they get so easily?
On me! Double time! Advance at speed!
Advance at speed! We await your command.
Quick march! Back! Withdraw!
Orders
The
understood.
men are broken and running for their lives!
Yours to command.
Levitani! Quick march! Double time! Secretariat! Palatina guards!
Libertani! As to command! By your command!
The men have thrown down their weapons and are fleeing! Secretariat! Glory be to God!
Glory be to God.
At the double!
Heaven can wait!
Libertani!
Break the lines!
As you command!
Our men are rallying! They're not done yet!
Spear infantry ready!
This feels like it is moving surprisingly fast.
Secretariat!
Libertani!
Fire!
At speed! At
Levitani! Stop now! Heaven can wait! Missile infantry! At speed!
Orders understood!
Our men are breaking off!
General's
The
taking
enemy refuses to admit
casualties.
defeat! Their unit has rallied! Their general is dead!
Ah!
Lethal blow!
Oh, that's good actually.
Palatina guards!
Heaven can wait! Withdraw! Orders understood!
The men are running! Stand and fight, damn you!
Okay, we almost got it. The general's in a lot of trouble though. Yeah, no, we got it! Your victory is moments away. Ah!
He is moments away!
Okay, that was 8 minutes. That was 7.5 minutes. We took heavy losses. It did not go according to plan. If they hadn't split their army up, I don't know if we would have won. Our general almost died. We started out with 120 of those guys, and he was surviving with 30 of them. Is friendly fire something I need to be worrying about with this part of the match? Okay, so what was everyone saying while I was focused on that? Densely packed units will get destroyed. They might not follow move orders properly in Testudo. Deus, Latin for God, shares the same Indo-European as Zeus and Jove. You might need to explain that one because, Zeus, Zeus, and Deus I can get, but Jove? Not so much. How did we come to getting Jove out of Zeus? Through God, all things are possible, so jot that down. See, I think my archers here are taking friendly fire back from the towers. Yeah, they're taking friendly fire damage. Let's leave the enemies for now. The horse might be able to catch. Heaven can wait. Catch the heavy guys. But this is important. I really should be doing this to clear them off the campaign map, right? Why my general is scared right now, I don't know. Maybe he's just fucked up from how much losses we took.
For the Savior!
For the Savior! Very good first battle. You think so? I underestimated the strength of these Gothic warbands, but they were really stupid with their onagers and pikemen. Really micro-intensive. They're winded, but not tired. Let's get them charging. So, does this game do the thing, that the, some other of the Total War games do, where if you, charge your units, they go faster?
The game's speed controls are used to adjust the speed of the battle. You can pause the game or put it into slow motion, clicking on the central button again to return it to normal.
Come on, come on, come on, come on. Ah! Pyrrhic victory. Jesus. Who said that was a good first battle? Liquid cesspool. I don't know if, the text on the screen agrees. We lost half, they lost all. Jesus. And after taking such heavy losses, it almost seems like the only reasonable option here is to replenish us by at least 11%. Integrity -7. The money gain is not worth it. It would cost as much, if not more, to replenish them the old-fashioned way, and they still exist on the campaign map. What is happening there? The host of Wodan doing?
We have long admired your powerful armies. Can you not commit their efforts to attack these people?
They're diplomatic. Happy. They demand I join war against the Quadian. Maybe? I want to keep them happy. The Western Romans happy. But the Quadians I don't think are a threat against me, and I have a lot on my plate right now. Tell the Western Roman Empire to go fuck themselves. Okay, okay, hang on. Ha!
I accept. The Emperor.
Okay. I didn't tell them to go fuck themselves, but I did tell them that not unless you give me $1,200. And they accepted. Am I now bleeding my most powerful ally dry? That was not a good deal for them. Actually, it might not have been that much. I did not look at what... I did not look at the total amount of money they're working with. Now, what is going on here? Ostrogoth. Backing. And I also saw some very scary army, Sons of Wodan, something of Wodan, little square runic symbol. Yeah, this, the host of Wodan, the Swabians. Okay, those are technically, I'm at war with them, but I don't. Dunham, France, Oderum, Conchio. Alright, I wanted to look at the food crisis, public order crisis. Pretty bad. Provinces. Public order is bad everywhere. Ah! Really not good.
Commander.
Break. Visigoths. Okay. The issue with going to war is that the AI assesses your strength based on the amount of wars you're in. If you're at war with a lot of people, they will see.
We hunger for
But they're gonna be so distracted by,
Ready for orders.
They're gonna be so distracted by what's going on in the West that they... I mean, it's a small barbarian tribe that's in horde mode right now. I don't know what sort of threat they really pose to me. And I can accept the deal and make a bit of money with it. Christianity. I think they take a bump from the presence of the barbarians. Okay, we have a lot of spears, 3 swords, 3 archers, 2 cavalry, and the...
At your command.
We have a cavalry to counter the onager, 4 skirmishers who might be good against the infantry. We have an equal amount of spears, but with better armor. Superior amount of swords. I think we have a good matchup. Let's save in case we need to save scum. Also, they're raiding, which I think makes them tired. Raiding. Unit state winded. Let's do it. I think... I can see a few reasons why not, but I'm feeling confident after that last victory. Yeah, look at this! What are we looking at? 9 out of 10 chance? I was not expecting it to go that well. Should I just auto-resolve this one? Nah, I need to learn the game. Okay, no, this is fine. And very, very soon, we will have Thrake be free of Germans. Yeah. The Roman Empire is cutting ally agreements like Trump makes trade deals. The faction you declared war on is not a threat. Your AI neighbors don't see it that way. Oh, that is interesting. Yeah, that would be something to consider, isn't it? Very casually agreeing to wars just for the financial support you'd get from your allies, not because you really care about the conflict or fear the enemy, would be internationally bad, right? That's bad. I am happy with taking diplomatic penalties for this. Is there any reason to wait? Oh yeah, rain and humidity is not good for the artillery. Oh well, it's not gonna happen anyway. We'll just have nice sunny weather, which is good for everyone. We do have hills. We can take cover from the artillery. Where's the artillery here? Right, okay, so from the artillery's perspective, what can't we see? We can't see over this hill. Okay. So we'll deploy around about here. Or, well, we won't deploy here, but we'll move there soon. Spear wall in front, sword wall behind, skirmishers third in line, but they might actually be first to fight. Archers in back. Later on, they might be able to pan around for a encirclement.
Get moving!
Scout equity!
And these equites are going to distract and disrupt in the opening phase of the battle. We will use this road to make for a speedy retreat into a tree line for cover. Until then, we want to get the enemy army moving in the wrong place and looking in the wrong direction, while my army takes position into the superior direction. Is everyone hidden? Everyone's hidden. Good. Begin. Muscle memory is coming in here. I've done this hundreds of times.
Fire at will for missiles can be toggled on or off. Keeping it toggled off will help preserve ammunition, but then your units or ships will only fire when specifically ordered.
By all that is holy, I think I am the luckiest man alive.
For Guardian as you command! We await your command.
Loosen the ranks!
Could hide in these tree lines. I think the enemy's doing the same, but I interpreted it as a retreat at first blush. Oh yeah, and what's the timer rules? You will lose if the time runs out. Interesting.
The enemy has been spotted!
They're retreating. They're hiding in the tree line. Hey, that's my move. I think this is fine though. I can get some pretty good high ground with a lot of tree cover from the artillery. Yeah, I can get in the forest and follow the edge of the map. They are not leaving the map. They're just retreating into the forest at the edge of the map. And you know what? I can do the same. How come the odds now... The red and yellow meter determining your battle odds are now a lot more even than they were on the campaign map? Can we hide in time before the artillery is gonna fire? Yeah, we're hidden. But artillery still kind of looks like it's... I don't think the AI is using artillery the way you were warning me about, Cesspool. The game just lies to you. Look at this. They're moving them to point some of the most useless directions. I can go ahead and charge right now. They're not going to get a single shot off. They might counterattack me with the cavalry, but that's where the road and the hills are going to come in handy, and I'll be able to outrun them, I think. They have cavalry superiority, but I'm just going to get this first strike in, and that'll hopefully... Yeah! Throw your javelins, too. And we're out. Bye! Did we actually do damage? 19 out of 30? Yeah, we did damage. So, 60. We have not taken any damage. We are being chased. Let's get to the top of the hill, get those horses tired. Nope, nope. Keep going, keep going. And I might even want to make my cavalry retreat. Yeah, those onagers are screwed. 13 out of 30. High good speed, excellent spotting, light melee. What's the speed on these guys? 30, 90. Speed is 90. Oh, they are gonna outrun me. I might want to order the retreat right now. Actually, can the skirmishers save them? No, no, ah!
The men have thrown down their weapons and are fleeing!
This is bad. That was not what I wanted. But actually I might be able to bait these horses. They're not gonna come up. I just saw the AI play remarkably turtly for a total war. Well, now I feel kind of stupid. Was it worth it? 13 out of 30. They lost most of their onager crew.
The enemy has obliterated an entire unit!
Yeah, that's really not good. Those are going to be very hard to get back. But, yeah, no, let's actually not go downhill. Let's keep the high ground. I will say that I never use cavalry because they require a barracks, which has a very high opportunity cost, and barbarian cavalry match you. But it's necessary. Maybe that's why you're so much more afraid of the artillery than I've been, is because I generally operate on the idea that I'd like to have a couple, but now I have none. Oh well, they knew the risks when they signed up. Alright, are we ready to have a tree forest battle? I hope. The forest is not going to favor the cavalry. It's really going to turn it from a tactical, strategical battle into just raw numbers and value versus numbers against value, and I think I have superiority on both fronts. Factors. I do like how in this Total War, though, they don't make the forests impossible to see through. Not being able to see shit is still a point of strategic consideration, but they have made this a lot easier on the eyes than usual. Are they firing or not? Taken, tired, moving. No, they're not firing. When they signed up, were they not conscripted? If they were equites, they were not. No, if they were equites, I think they would have signed up for them. Actually, I think the way the system works is that all the forced conscription was stuff happening in the colonies. Not in and around Italy and Greece itself, or Egypt, or for that matter. Right, the horses are usually going to be representing upper class members of whatever society you're looking at in these games. Generally, people who have more options in life. Alright, let's get our spear wall in front of this nice rock. The rock would be a nice thing to fight around. I wonder if these Sagittarii are all Sagittariuses. And I think I see a bit of a hill. Yeah, we have a bit of a elevation cover from the artillery around some of these things, but the rock's going to be a useful one. If the artillery is even a threat. Shaken and tired. I don't know if they're a threat. Skirmishers and archers are actually going to need to get in front for a little while. Let's slow the spears and swords down, turn off fire at will, turn on testudo. But as we learned, this makes it harder for them to follow orders precisely. Oh, we're taking artillery damage.
God, give us strength!
I've played so many hundreds of hours of a game so remarkably close to this that I think my ear's muscle memory was actually filling in the words, "Gods save us," and it's weirding me out to hear them talk about monotheism instead.
And the double.
Never can wait!
And the double. By your command.
Orders understood! By your command! As you command! Missile infantry at your command!
It's an ambush.
No, it's not.
Our
We're
hidden
fine.
units have been discovered.
Got spears for planning for this. Yeah! Yeah! Fuck them up. Right.
Double time!
I think we already knocked that infantry, that cavalry, out of the game.
God, give us strength! Levis Amatore!
Yes, yes, we did. We annihilated them. Oh. Oh, no, we didn't. Never mind.
Back now! Break the lines!
Back them down. Understood.
Understood!
Yes, Commander.
I need to be doing it in slow motion still. I wonder if I'll ever get good enough at one of these games to play it at normal speed.
Enemy units have been rallied.
It breaks my heart. It really does. That, they have such fun sound design and music.
The enemy
But
is going for our general.
you kind of
Protect him.
got to play the games in slow motion where they turn all the sound effects off and the music kind of sounds weirdly out of place with how slow and calm and quiet things suddenly become.
Our men flee the field of battle. This is a shameful display.
Those heavy spears were not... In both battles, they have not been nearly as heavy as what I'm used to. In Rome, too, they can stand their ground for many more minutes than it seems like they're able to here. And now it's almost like archers are going to be more a problem. Oh, it's Alaric. That guy, that's not a good guy to be up against right now. Ooh. I think the skirmishers should be going up against the archers.
Our men are rallying. They're not done yet. Our men run from the enemy. This is shameful.
Archer's main role is to counter skirmish. Oh, that's to know now, I guess. I was thinking that a small, lightweight guy with throwing javelins would be a easy counter for a small, lightweight guy with a bow and arrow. The bow and arrow guys don't really have any kind of melee solution, but the skirmishers have throwing spears on them. Donius is picking up the slack. I think we ought to do it, actually. Alaric is feeling scared. Ooh. Combat is even. Yeah, we got him on the run.
unit has used all available ammunition. The men are running! Stand and fight, damn you!
Right, okay, 107 bowmen versus 89 javelin men. The bowmen run away when people get close. The javelin men do not necessarily have to deal with that. Part of their nature. As these guys throw their last javelins, I'll have them charge. But boy oh boy, both battles have been an absolute mess compared to how I was hoping they would go. We just lost our cavalry unit. He said in melee javelin infantry would... Right? It is very gamey. Like IRL, I would always choose a spear in formation, fighting to a sword. So, like, the idea of the Total War balance that I thought I had in my mind was that the spear is used as a defensive battle line, and the sword is who you want to be, flanking. How would you say that? The spear is the anvil, the swords are the hammer? It's hammer and anvil stuff. Also, we won. Losses were still pretty great, not as horrible as the last battle. But I definitely need to learn what I'm doing. God, can we kill Alaric right here and not have to worry about him later? That would be very nice. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No! I think I never saw a pop-up that the enemy general was dead, and I saw one guy left run across the border. Was that him? Close victory. At least it was not a Pyrrhic victory right now. You might not think it, but this is a really good outcome. He's gonna make a legendary comeback. Alright, now does the army go away off the map? I want it off the map. Close victory. They only have 270 guys remaining.
Ready for orders.
They did not go away. And now they're kind of sort of consolidated.
Ready for battle.
If I follow up, let's merge. Let's merge again. Thank you. Let's merge. Merge again. Thank you. Okay, so next turn's gonna be winter. Everyone's gonna have to stay put for a turn, right? Maintain 5 mercenaries. Fortification's gonna happen. Visigoths are still there.
Ready for orders.
You have selected a target outside the highlighted area.
Ready for orders. Commander?
Could the 4th Legion actually finish the job all by
The road
themselves?
system within a region will improve as
Okay, they have missiles. That means run at them really fast, right? We only lost 14 guys. That's perfect. Can I see what integrity looks like before I press the button? Your enemy and their allies. The grave exception. The enemy of your enemy will like me for it. That sounds good.
Commander.
Yes! Yes, get them out of here! Okay, now they have 2... I guess we should be balanced for this? Okay, last time we lost 14 guys. How many are they gonna... Oh, sorry, Eddie. I didn't mean to drop a bowl on you. I had a salad bowl that I accidentally knocked off the table onto Eddie's sleeping spot. 14 people again! Okay!
Ready for orders.
But one of the goals is accomplished. We got the Visigoths out. We have no Ostrogoths in. But we still have 20-something turns to go to keep these conditions in play. Are the Visigoths actually gone forever? Factions. Are we in alphabetical order? Yes, we are. The Visigoths are not on this list anymore. That's good, right? I never really had an issue with integrity, but it might be more of an issue on hard. I think armies lose integrity from sacking or being outside home territory for too long. It was an issue in the tutorial when I was in horde mode.
At your command.
But anyways, Liquid Cesspool has been saying that this was not a bad start. It was kind of stressful. I took extremely heavy losses that I felt very, very dirty and bad and tragic about. Wait, I should pay more attention to public order. I think public order, is it going to increase or decrease when the soldiers are in town? In all these games, whether or not public order increases or decreases when you garrison your soldiers is always like a powerful gauge of what actual real-life political theory the game designers themselves are supporting or depicting. -20. When they're gone, it's -25. Okay, they have a positive effect. Soldiers hanging around town is something that's not always a good thing in real life. Not at all. Easily not always a good thing. But here in this game, it is depicted as a good thing. In Divide and Impera, I loved how you had to get complicated with it. Like, it depended on what stance they were in and what sort of, how much of an asshole the general themselves was. And through some of the policies and stances, like, they kind of sort of hinted at like a proto-policing concept, where if the army was garrisoned in town, if they're all together and just causing trouble at the taverns and stuff, it's bad. But if you set them to a certain sort of stance where you cannot fight with them in a battle, the idea was that they like split up into smaller units and patrol the countryside in addition to the town, doing like police stuff, and that was good. Whether or not that's good in real life is something I don't think the human race has come to nearly as conclusive an agreement on as the situations in big grand strategy games will depict. In any case, this game is the most stressful Total War game. That might be good. That might be a good thing to be occupying my time with over the next few days. I still have some reading to do, some video work to do. I cannot enjoy my weekend for another day, and then as soon as next week begins, I'm going to have to delay Metal Gear Monday for a day because of a pseudo-emergency involving Mom and a big drive I'm going to have to make down there. But in any event, I was satisfied. Yeah, it was nice. It was nice thinking about those decisions for a while instead of tough real-life strategy decisions. I want to say that the one thing that's distressing me the most is how long these turns are taking. I would like to get in the habit of playing Attila Total War for a while. That sounds fun. That sounds... It's a nice strategy game that everyone loves. But, those turns were taking a good long while, and I guess when you're starting off your game as a complicated, well-developed political entity like a half of the Roman Empire, the first turn would naturally take a lot longer than all the subsequent ones. The subsequent ones were like 5 to 10 minute turns. That first one was an hour. That first turn was an hour. I've got my notepad here to keep track of these medium-term goals when I pick it back up. And I think I am enjoying it now that I might pick it back up in some of my own time. Until then, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for helping me through some tough times again. They're still gonna keep rolling even though we're on the upswing. And thanks for the $10 very much, Guy Dude. Just wanted to say that you loved my stuff. Well, guess what, Guy Dude? I love your stuff too.